Hello, everybody, and welcome to that day we've all been waiting for here at AEL. It's grand final day. 6 teams, double elimination bracket, 1 champion when it's all said and done. My name is Max Von Neumann, also known as @FormalCasting. Joining me, it's Matt Tinsley, a.k.a. JR Tins, who is definitely outdressing me today. That jacket looking quite spiffy.
Oh, it's the playoffs. We had to come. I was looking around what I could wear. I had to try and, come show up. This is a big deal. This is playoffs yet again. We've got some amazing teams that we'll be able to watch today, including the returning champions from both Season 1 and Season 2. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm going to be excited to see if those two teams will be going at each other for sure. Granted, it all depends how the brackets kind of play out when and if they do run into each other now. As mentioned before, it's going to be a double elimination day for our 16s. The top 2 positioning teams from Divisions 1 and 2 of our 3-division bracket have advanced straight to the winner's semifinal, whereas our other 4 teams are going to be doing battle right about now. Best of 3s to start off the day for our first 2 rounds in the winner's bracket. Then, once we get to the winner's final, it'll be best of 5s until the end. No bracket reset, no game advantage. It's just straight up win and in once we get to that stage.
And it is very interesting because you do usually see a lot of bracket resets, a lot of one-game advantages happen in this. So it's just an all-out battle. Just because you make your way through the upper bracket does not mean you're going to get any special treatment when it comes to that final game. And it's going to be very interesting to see how they go just up against each other. And, you go through the lower bracket, you're going to have to make a very fair run. And we talk about some of these teams won't be prepared for the amount of hours that, sometimes these tournaments can go on for and make, playing game after game at such a high level. We might see even a few burnt out moments from the team coming up from the lowers, but, getting a little bit ahead, we got to still worry about the games that are ahead of us now.
Absolutely. And speaking of games ahead of us right now, our opening is going to be a returning finalist, actually, from last season, SMCC second. Looking for a bit of redemption. Maybe this will be the season they go all the way. But first, they're going to have to try to find a victory over GSLC Gold.
Exactly. And GSLC did really well for their run, and they really showed just what they have. But there have been a few undefeated teams here. I believe SMC second. If I can quickly have a look. They did finish second in their bracket, so they have got still, they took those 2 losses, but they're still a very good team. They made the grand final as of last season, so still very good for them to coming out. They did have the Hawker College in their bracket, so a tough run there. But going up against this GSL, they had a few cracks last time I did get to watch them on stream, but very a strong team in their own right, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll be very excited to see how they can perform. But before we can go on to the game, as per usual, when it comes to AEL, we have many great events, and none of them would be possible without some of our wonderful sponsors that helps put them together.
Exactly right. We've got to give you a huge shout out to ViewSonic. They are sponsoring the 75-inch interactive display as a prize to upgrade the champion score each term. An amazing prize for these students to compete for. That really increases the fun and enjoyment in learning as well. But AEL, we've got a lot of sponsors as well, and also that one of those is Chatime Australia, the bubble tea partner. Head in stores and pick up one of their huge variety of drinks, selections, and amazing flavors. And without grabbing a drink, you got to pair it with some nice food, and Indomie Instant Ready Noodles have you covered, just to keep you going between those long gaming sessions and study sessions. A quick and instant ready meal at your fingertips that tastes amazing. But we also got to talk about the peripherals, what these players are looking at playing on, and AOC monitors are just the things to make a huge difference in your gaming experience. AOC are the go-to in terms of refresh rates, quality, and so much more. AOC continues to raise the standards for design performance with their amazing award-winning monitors. And we talk about what these players are looking at. We've got to talk about what's in their head, what gives them that sound advantage in the game. And look no further than Rig headsets, the place to go with amazing range of wired and wireless options, all with performance audio, precise controls, and the comfort you need for those long gaming sessions. Rig headsets have you covered, and myself and Formal, we have you covered for these amazing playoff games that we're going to be getting into.
Yeah, absolutely. I am just biting at the bit right now to get involved in these games. It's going to be a great afternoon of Rocket League, and I think it's high time we kick this one off. SMCC will be on the blue side. GSLC will be looking spiffy in orange as we cut over to the pitch to kick off our first game in this best of 3. So not your traditional best of 5 at all. On that blue side, of course, we're going to be looking at Mimum, Zon, and Jim9201 in orange. It is Rice is Nice, as well as Red Hot Dragon 73 and Exil Baseball. Always love a good baseball reference. He's going to be the one with that first attack until Zon pushes it back up the other way.
Yeah, looking to get an early start here, and Will might also have an open net, but just couldn't quite find the target needed. Very good attack here, just 20 seconds in, but couldn't quite convert, but good showing here is a good beat out. Actually, Zon getting the demo, but Mimum will be there in the corner to try and clear this one out. And it is going to be very interesting to see this best of three, which I feel like whichever team comes with that momentum to begin with, comes with that attacking pressure, will be the one to get that early lead, and that can mean a lot, especially in the best of three. As a backboard opportunity here, no defense to be found, but couldn't quite put that one on target. Maybe just these teams warming up a little bit before they can put one on net.
Yeah, both these teams trying to find something to get through. I do like seeing, though, two evenly matched teams to start off the day. It's always a little concerning sometimes when you get a quick goal because it tells me one team still is probably looking to warm up. Well, Zon might be feeling a bit warm right now, a little bit too overeager, actually kind of found themselves in front of the dribble. Clearing attempt, Mimum, it's a weaker touch across the center. That's Exil Baseball. Trying to get that shot on target, kept it a bit too high, double commit on the second touch as the ball gets pushed safely to the corner.
Yeah, they are looking to use the backboard a lot, and we've found in this high school league, backboard defense isn't really a big factor with these teams, so those backboards are clear a lot. If you can look to try and get a few passes off there, you might find some early goals. Just couldn't quite find the target. Yeah, Zon trying to center that one out, but will be found in a Ross. Nice in the midfield. Great redirect to get the first goal.
What a great pass and shot as well, and you know from the moment baseball saw that ball going their way, Rice is saying, I'm mid, I'm mid, I'm mid, but to hit and execute a pass and shot like that, 105 kilometers per hour after bouncing off the ground. Fantastic pass and catch and a well-deserved 1-0 lead.
Exactly right. When you got a player upfield like that in such an open scenario, and being able to hit them on the noggin is a really good skill, and good to see pass plays coming out from that team. It really shows that team chemistry. Is Mimum now trying to get that passing field, won't be able to find, and Red Hot Dragon looking to send over to midfield, trying to moving the ball up the field together, which is always a good sign. Just can't quite keep the possession once they got the ball in their side of the half. As Mimum going to look to take it slow here, try and bait out a defender, but Zil baseball, sorry, I'm a basketball fan. Gotta remember it's baseball, but really nice pass off the backboard. Can't quite convert, and will be played out in the midfield.
Mimum, I don't think, was aware that that net was entirely open in that situation and instead put that one high. Interesting, though, because that was the same exact pass play that we actually saw GSLC Gold score on before. And something I want to point out about these pass plays right now, and what has me excited is rotationally, absolutely correct. The only difference between sort of that positioning from what we're seeing here and what we see at like the highest levels would perhaps be velocity at which the ball's being hit at and elevation in terms of, they're more airborne. But when you look at the positioning in terms of where these players are on the field, it is actually very intelligent. We're seeing proper spacing, proper challenges, a very strong looking opening game as the backboard pass does come through and Mimum ties us up.
Yeah, Mimum's doing a really good job of just applying that pressure. We talk about backboard defense, puts it in that awkward spot, gets there for the quick follow-up to put that one away. And you're right, positioning the rotations, we're not seeing too many double commits. We're not seeing too many players rotating really far back or cheating upfield. This is a very solid rotational game, which is good to see, especially in the high school league, as Red Hot Dragon now looking to put that one on target. Actually puts an awkward position, crossbar, and down finds its way in.
Oh, speaking of correct positioning, this shot was positioned in the correct spot right there. Off that top post, down and in, a 2-1 lead. GSLC Gold looking very, very strong.
Yeah, and just great positioning there, and really nice, just powerful shot into the crossbar down to put that one away. And these shots are not to be reckoned with. They're warming up a little bit. They're starting to put those shots on target, which is a good sign to see. As best of three, we talk about it, you got to start getting it to these touches early. As Zon trying to play to the corner. Zon was a really standout player in last season and really was good at controlling the ball, keeping possession, and we're seeing that here in this game as well. This time baseball now controlling, trying to get a nice 50 in midfield, does beat out the defender. Red Hot Dragon, first one up through, couldn't quite get the read, and Zon will take possession.
All right, I'm going to, oh, that's a dangerous shot right now coming through. Tins, I'm going to ask you a kind of awkward question right now because something has come to attention, and I'm just gonna straight up ask it. Are we sure we have the teams the right way around? Because it seems like people are saying that Mimum is actually on GSLC, but I'm pretty sure I remember Zon on SMCC.
I just want to avert all tension from Formal here. This is on me. This is my mistake. I may have forgot to enter in the team names when doing this, so we will get that corrected. I do want to say Formal is not to blame here, although I would love to blame Formal. This one's on me. We do have the team names around the wrong way.
We do? All right, we're going to change. Yep, I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
So we'll get in the Keep Tower too. I just want to say that this is on me. This is on me. I'll be the first one to blame Max if it is his fault. I do love doing that on a daily basis, but
I blame me.
The teams right now are the wrong way around. We will get that sorted next. So it is still looking like a really close game. Shot on target from Zon, but just on the backboard yet again. Red Hot Dragon looking to take this one over. No boost to work with though, so we play it to the corner. 20 seconds to go. They need to get on the defensive end, but on the attacking end, sorry, as they look to put one away. This is their last chance. Zon needs to get it clear here, but Baseball doing a really good job at maintaining possession. Zon finally gets it off the ceiling, playing that one downfield, but no one's going to be there to follow it up. 2 seconds left to whiff in midfield. They will touch the ground, and they will take the win here in game number 1, and really putting them on match point. It's a best of 3. That first game victory is huge.
Yeah, that was a massive game 1 victory that we saw right there for the team that was, you know, last season's grand finalist, SMCC second. They're the ones who come out on top in this first match, and that's pretty good for them. As, yeah, apologies for singing. Just going to turn up that game audio a bit just so you guys can better hear, you know, the roar of the engines and the excitement of the crowd. Now, again, this is a best of 3, so that first victory that you see right there is actually enough to get SMCC to match point. Pressure is going to be back on the GSLC side. There is a loser's bracket. It's going to be a tough game to pull off, though, because I still feel like these two teams are very evenly matched. The one defining difference between the two, obviously, was how SMCC was able to get a few more upfield passes, I feel. So the first defensive touches were benefiting the orange side in that matchup, and I'll be curious to see if they'll be able to keep that same momentum going moving forwards.
Exactly right. It is good to see such a close game 1, and there's just a few mistakes on both ends, but then a few really good opportunities. And I really hope to see, I said, the backboard is huge for me in this series. I think the backboard is being very well utilized, but just they need to look to start following it up a little bit more, as not many defensive players are rotating using that backboard. As Baseball trying to get an early goal here. Ooh. Jim will just be able to clear that one aside, but a good early challenge by Baseball, not leaving the play, puts that one away.
Yeah, and I want you to watch the car recovery on all 3 members on this blue side right here. No one really in position to challenge that awkward Jim dribbler. Like, it did appear Jim was trying to throw it to that corner, but we had one player halfway up the backboard. The other car, I think, was just bouncing in the corner. A pretty easy read for the Baseball player to kind of be like, okay, there's an opportunity here. The angle was tight, but it was hit, and now it's a 1-0 lead for SMCC too.
Yeah, and they're looking to do a quick counterattack. Zon with an infield pass there, but is going to be beat out by Red Hot Dragon, and really good pacing in the midfield as they look to quickly turn this into a counterattack, but yet again, Zon is there to clear out over to the midfield, just looking to maintain this pressure. Meanwhile, with a shot on target, almost finds the top corner, but just couldn't convert on that one. Jim just going to have to play that aside so they can recover, try and get back on the defensive end. As Rice is nice, looking for the quick counterattack. Zon with an early challenge. And Zon seems to be everywhere on the field right now, looking for these challenges, looking to stop quick counterattacks, and looking to get saves and clears like that.
Yeah, I mean, Zon has consistently been the first member forward for GSLC Gold right now. Very consistently. Has been kind of going back and forth, collecting that midfield boost on each side over and over again. And a little of that is at SMCC's detriment. They haven't really been able to control that midfield. A lot of their touches up the pitch has come from their own defensive half, and it also feels like, though, as long as they can beat Zon, they will get attacking opportunities. Case in point, how they establish themselves right here. I do like how well SMCC Gold has been able to control the attack as well once they do get moving forward, as backboard open yet again. No! If Rice left that for Red Hot Dragon, that's probably a 2-0 game.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of miscommunication there. Rice is nice, had a really good shot opportunity, but just couldn't quite convert. As Zon now looking to get that clear. No boost to work with, so we'll just try and force a 50, but really just giving possession to Rice is nice, who's waiting patiently on the side wall, looking to try and maintain this pressure. Red Hot Dragon get a shot opportunity. Almost gets the dunk, but just off target. But I really like how tight this team is rotating in the midfield. SMC not giving up any space, maintaining that midfield boost pressure, and quick turns mean that you're really getting suffocated on defense.
Yeah, and they're stealing the boosts away as well. Rice is nice, has been making sure to get those corner boosts again and again, and you can see Jim just driving right past it. Rice is nice, is the one who presses forward. Doesn't get it before Zon does, but Zon did go boost, not ball, and almost gave up a second goal as a result. Now Zon, across the middle of the field, has a teammate in the center as well, intercepted by Rice, who looks to go the distance, is bumped, is trying to fake, eventually just swarmed off of the play. Zon with the counterattack does get demoed, and eventually tempo does start to slow.
I just want to say, Mimom doing a great job on that play, rotating back, didn't have the really time to get to the ball, so decided to really disrupt a clear opportunity that I believe Rice had on the play there. So really heads up play from Mimom, trying to always stay active in the play. What can you better do to try and make your job easier for your teammates? As now Jim trying to clear the ball, does get boost as well, so might look for that infield pass. Two players sending at the ball, but none could quite make contact. Now Zon going early, has an opportunity, but just off target. Baseball gets a good clear to the side. Luca and like Mimom's there trying to follow, look for that infield, but it just seems like GSL, they're rotating just a little bit too far deep sometimes, and it's really giving up possession at points.
Yeah, and when you compare that to sort of the more aggressive posturing of SMCC, who are happy to even cut off the field when on the attack in front of that midfield line and consistently win a lot of those challenges, I feel like GSLC is going to have to take a few more risks. The mistakes just aren't being made by the SMCC defense right now, so you kind of need to force it. A chance to score for Baseball, lobs it in, and with a 2-0 lead, GSLC, it's time to sort of pull out that goalie and go, go, go.
Yeah, shot after shot really just coming out, putting the side of GSLC in such an awkward position that eventually Baseball just knew that they had to get it on target. Placed it nice and high, really awkward for the defense. Puts that one away. 2-goal lead here, minute to go. This is where we need to start seeing some of that extra aggression that we were talking about. Quick turns, really applying pressure, because they're just, you're right, they're just not making a defensive mistake. They're solid rotations. Their communication just seems to be on point.
It absolutely does, and the only player who's been seemingly matching it thus far has been Zon, who, well, gets a nice touch right here. That actually might go in. Red Dragon got just enough to make the save. Zon can't do everything, though. He's going to need his teammates to play a little bit far forward and get to some of these 50s to help him out, as, well, at the moment, Zon really is trying to do everything, actually. Got the first 3 touches on this play from underneath. Mimom was too slow to challenge. Jim does win out. Zon now with a bit of space. Needs to find the double. Doesn't quite get there, but underneath, Jim does. And with 23 seconds remaining, GSLC still has a chance.
They are still in this game. It's such a great play from Zon to play that to the backboard. Almost got the double, but ends up being a great fake for Jim to put that one away. 1 goal down, 23 seconds to stay alive in this upper bracket. Can you do it? Zon doing a really nice job. Mimom doing a really good follow-up job in the midfield, but you're right. It just seems like Zon is putting shot after shot, I believe. Zon alone has 3 shots on target, but Baseball has not only 3 shots on target, but 3 goals.
And this is coming at a critical moment, and it kind of highlights exactly what I was saying was one of the problems with GSLC Gold, where they don't have the players behind Zon to back him up if a challenge goes awry. And I think SMCC has come to realize, hold on, if we get that ball behind Zon, we have so much extra space to work with right now. That dunk definitely just put this series away, so congratulations to SMCC second. They're going to be going to that winner semifinal.
Yeah, really deserved. They're playing so well. They know what they need to do, and they're just playing off each other. I would love to see the communication going on, because I just really think that it is next level. They all know what they're doing and what needs to be done from each player. They all have a role to fill, and they're doing it really well. And I'm very interested to see how they go in the rest of the series. You know, Zon, Jim, and Mim are really well played. I believe they do have a good chance in that lower bracket, but just not quite enough to take down SMC.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it will be exciting for sure where we go from here. I feel like if these two teams were to be playing in a best of 5, or even, dare I say, a best of 7, which won't be happening today, so I don't know why I'm teasing everyone. But I feel like there's definitely worlds where we could see GSLC take a game or 2 off of this lineup, especially if Jim and Mimum get more time to maybe warm up a little bit more. But for right now, SMCC second, they're looking very consistent. And that is a scary sign, I think, for the other teams, because the big issue in, you know, these sort of one-day single or double ELM bracket events, consistency can get you so far. And I'm going to be excited to see if that level of consistency will be maintained.
Exactly right. They've got a huge step. And you know what? We've got a grand final rematch next in the upper bracket. We won't quite be covering that match, but SMC first team will be going up against the second team. And I believe if they can maintain that kind of momentum, they definitely, we might see them in the upper bracket for the semi-finals. So definitely it's all about keeping that consistency, keeping that solid rotation. And if they work together, teamwork in this tournament can really take you far, as those one standout players can't quite carry a team when it gets to those final few matches.
Yeah, as Zon may have just found out right there. However, they still will have a second chance in that loser's bracket. As for us, well, we're going to be throwing it to a break while we figure out what our next game exactly is going to be. We're riding on the edge of our seats just like you might be at home. So stay with us. We'll have more of our grand final day, winner semifinal, in fact, when we return. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Grand Final Day here at AEL High School. I apologize for a little bit of the delay. We had a bit of a tech issue, but it does seem to be sorted now, so we can start breaking down our next matchup. Winner semifinal, Hawker taking on CCPS. And funnily enough, even though neither of these teams, realistically competed last season, granted we did see, Hawker back in Season 1, this matchup could be almost a grand final preview.
It definitely could be. I do want to point out that these teams are undefeated in all of AEL. Hawker College did not lose a single game in that first season, so they're carrying through to this one. They're 10-0. They've still got that undefeated run, as well as CCPS also undefeated in this as well. So battle of the undefeateds, and definitely probably a future looking into what the grand final might look like.
Yeah, not just, a future for this grand final, but there are some future, I think, strong players in Rocket League overall as a whole that could be coming through in this game. I mean, I look at Fruity, I look at Ultras, and most importantly, I look at Sweeper as 3 players to be watching out for in this upcoming matchup. I mean, we've seen them all throughout the season dominate. Now we get to see them go up against each other. I'm expecting some really high-level play right now.
I really think so. I think the level of this entire lobby is going to be really good to watch compete. They're going to really start to understand rotations, and I think the ability to score here is just definitely going to be next level. I think the defense is really going to pick up. It will be interesting to see just how the side of CCP plays together. Well, I did watch them early in the season. They did have a little bit of confusion between what players to go, when to kind of send it the ball or not. And I really think it'll be a good battle going up against Hawker College, where they're very rotational. They're all at the same level, and it will really kind of show in this game.
As we do look to be kicking off, I thought Zenix pulled a fast one on us, but it looks like we are good to go. Now that Hawker side, they are in blue. That is Ultras, Fruity, as well as Zenix. Meanwhile, on the CCPS side, we have ourselves G-Royd, Yuri, and Sweeper, the player to watch out for. Again, that pink watermelon car. I expect a lot of exciting things from them. In fact, already going for that first touch through the corner underneath Sweepers. Their shot, target, goal. This is exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, that is the pressure that Sweeper can have. Sweeper's always going to be active in this play, staying underneath the ball, waiting, realizing Zenix is in an awkward position, almost shooting perfectly on the net to kind of avoid the pre-jump from the side wall. So very nice start from Sweeper. I thought that was what we would see coming out of the gate here, but it's all about Hawker now. How can they look to kind of approach this team, and how can they look to get that quick counterattack?
Yeah, well, we will see. They are pressing forward right now. Ultras can't quite sneak it underneath that top crossbar, but still will be having some backup in Fruity, holding it in the corner. It actually looked to me like Fruity was trying to center it in that situation, and now Ultras in an awkward spot. Sweeper there to punish. Fruity did rotate all the way back, and fortunately did so, because that will be the save. Little bits of miscommunication, little bits of awkward touches coming from the Hawkers side. They're going to have to clean this up quickly, because it does look like CCPS are definitely on form out of the gate.
Yeah, and I do want to point out G-Royd. G-Royd countless times has done really good at keeping the ball close, really trying to force out 1 or 2 defenders on every single flick, and really setting up an easy offensive attack here for the side of CCP. So G-Royd doing really well. As a little bit of a bump in their own corner.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll get our caster curse out early. Maybe we'll get our own goal out early too, as more pressure going to be coming from this orange side. Sweeper puts up a bit of a meatball right there. And Fruity again doesn't quite get that aerial touch that they were looking for. Kind of put it off to the side where Zenix is forced to burn boost to follow it through. That means this is a low resource attack, and yet Hawker is still looking for it. Sweeper reads the backboard and puts the ball safely in the corner.
Just a sliver of boost there to try and put that one away. Just has enough to get that save. Keeps it out of harm's way, as a very nice challenge from Ultras did put that in harm's way. Now Fruity looking to keep the pressure going here. Ultras with good 50 into midfield, but no one seems to be playing this second player role in midfield. They seem to be really staying behind the ball or rotating deep, which, as we saw in that previous game, you need to start looking to control the midfield. You need to put pressure up, and that's how you're going to get those goals on, as Ultras looking to beat out all 3 players, but they do manage to clear the ball out to the side.
I don't think that Hawker is going to be in many positions to go for these solo plays as long as Sweeper is behind the ball. They really need to wait until Sweeper commits on something and then look to capitalize on those individual plays. I do want to see Hawker instead rely much more on the pass play, something to get this star player off balance, because if they continue to try to go one-on-one against him, I mean, we haven't seen Sweeper miss yet.
Exactly right, and Sweeper isn't going to miss. But one thing I think that they've had in the past from CCP is if you put a shot on net with all three players, they don't really trust themselves to get that save. I think Sweeper is really going at a lot of these saves in net. So putting that early shot onto target, forcing out a few defense, but you've got to be in the position to look to follow it up. You can't just shoot on target and then deep rotate. You've got to stay active, stay in the midfield, look for it. As Sweeper gets a touch to the side, almost ended up being sent to the other team. But, you know, we shouldn't have second-guessed Sweeper's ability.
Nope.
Definitely have to get back to that one and put it back into the corner.
Keeping us on the edge of our seats, but more importantly, actually causing Xenex to bite a little bit too far forward, and that's what opened the doorway for this counterattack. So even when it looks like it's a mistake, you know, sometimes you can turn those around into something strong. As that's a cheeky little challenge by Yuri right there to keep the ball moving forward. Now tight spacing nearly opens the door for Giroid, who felt a little backflip. Actually kind of more beneficial. They did so, and now that's a little bit of the miscommunication we've seen going the other way. Swinging a miss from Xenex, swinging a miss from everyone, actually. The case of the Whiffles getting a bit contagious right now off this blue backboard shot, going to be saved by Xenex.
Yeah, panic definitely leads to panic in most kind of situations like this. We're in the playoffs. This is high that these teams are really playing for. They're playing for that ViewSonic 75-inch interactive display, so really huge prizes. Ultra is actually beating a few in the midfield, but actually going to get bumped by Yuri from behind. Won't be able to follow that one up, and now Sweeper looking to go the other way. Zero boost, but does manage to get a flip and will look to fake it, and I think that's what they're doing really well, is Sweeper's staying on this play with zero boost. We've seen Yuri do some really good quick turns in leading into quick challenges, and it's really forcing out, and Sweeper gets the double, had the flip as well, but decided not to use it.
Just the fact that Sweeper had the flip, just in case Ultras tried to do something a little cheeky from underneath, just shows how strong this player can be. But yep, a clean double keeps it right in the middle of the net, 2-0 lead, and this is Hawker in position to lose their first ever game played in AEL, and after nearly an entire year, to go this far without dropping a single round is quite impressive. But at that same token, the way how CCPS is performing, it hasn't just been Sweeper. Like, yes, Sweeper still is that standout player, but the consistency has been shown from the rest of the team as well.
Exactly right. Giroid talked time and time again about the midfield challenges and just keeping possession, and that's what this team's doing really well. They're really trying to send the ball as first player, really look to make an impact, try and force out possession away from the side of Hawker College, and Yuri's been doing a really good job at that. And, you know, if you get it past one of these defenders, you've got two more to get past, and with the likes of, with just how well CCPS are doing on defense, not good enough. Ultra is finally able to get one on the buzzer, hopefully get some momentum. But we have seen Ultras time and time again can finally get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but the thing about that goal, though, is it goes back to exactly what I was talking about before with Hawker. They like to go for these individualistic plays, yes, but they can't do it when Sweeper's behind the ball. The reason why that one was so successful, Sweeper had committed a little bit too early in that situation, probably because felt that the game was won, and that opened the door for Ultras to go for that kind of play and then executes it immediately. The thing is, as long as Sweeper is behind the ball, those plays are going to come less and less often. So while it is great that Hawker was able to get one on the board, I don't know how reliable shots like that are going to be moving forwards if Sweeper continues to play with this more defensive mindset that we saw for a lot of that opening game.
Exactly right, and there's so many opportunities that can bring out. If you know the problem, if you know that you need to get past Sweeper, if you're looking to try and get, you know, a goal, start to look for some demos, start to get more physical on the plays. We've seen teams that, I'm not going to say underdogs, but teams that lose the first game or just aren't looking good in the series, start to go for more physicality, start to really play down and dirty to try and, you know, get the win, has been seen to do really well in the future. And maybe that's gonna start to be an option. Look to get demos on Sweeper, look to get demos on Giroid, clear the field, then look to go for those solo plays.
Perhaps they will be, as at the moment, a near pass and shot. That is kind of the more what I want to see, are these upfield passes, because I think that could be a way to maybe get Sweeper off balance moving forwards. Obviously, as there's your method as well, so multiple different avenues for Hawker to come back into this game. At the moment, this is looking good. Ball got behind Sweeper, and Xenex is there to score. They beat out the defense and take their first lead of the series.
Yeah, really nice play there from Fruity, staying on, forcing Sweeper, and that's what we needed. We need the follow-ups. We need the second player playing close enough to get these reads. Xenex doing a really good job there. They get the first goal. They're really kind of broken that momentum. They know it's possible after the first game. Now can they look to convert as Ultras already putting one on? Yuri actually seems to maybe have disconnected, but Sweeper luckily there to put that one aside.
And look, not to go too hard into the behind-the-scenes situations, but this was going to be a little bit of the fear of the CCPS side before coming into this one. And in a best of 3 and not a best of 5, that's less time for Yuri to get back in it. Granted, Sweeper, cool, calm, and collected. Straight down the middle, makes one defender miss, goes right around the second before taking the shot, and Fruity nowhere in sight to make the save right there. Tie ball game.
Yeah, Sweeper knows as soon as they saw their player disconnect, all right, we need to keep the ball close. We need to work this out individually. And not only does it, but puts a goal on target as well. Really nice play there from Sweeper, coming out from, you know, I believe SSL in ones, which is the highest rank if people aren't too aware. So Sweeper definitely really good at those individual plays. Now G-Roy trying to get one on the net, but will be played aside by Fruity. Sweeper playing a little bit patient here, trying to force out the defense. And that's what he's doing a really good job at, is just forcing Hawkins to give away possession, then making their play.
I do want to actually go a little bit deeper into something maybe not quite as relevant. The whole SSL thing being the highest rank. It's not just SSL. It stands for Supersonic Legend. And I was talking to a League player earlier today who would be essentially a Supersonic Legend of League of Legends. And they straight up admitted, you know what, when it comes to like the name of that top tier ranking, absolutely the best. Supersonic Legend is mint.
Yeah, it is. I think a lot of people kind of found it weird. They're like, Supersonic Legend, it sounds a little bit weird, but the more you started saying it, like, it's exactly what you are. You are a legend. If you don't know the history about Rocket League, it used to be called Supersonic Aerobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. I was trying to say that without mumbling, but so that's where the Supersonic came from. But it is, you are a Supersonic legend. You have reached the top rank. You are a legend at this game, and Sweeper is definitely showing why they have earned this title.
As they now have a chance, actually, to go ahead in this series. CCPS looking to set up said Sweeper right now, although it's Yuri who will find that next touch in the corner. Here he comes. Out and, pre-jumps a little too early for that second touch. G-Royd, though, slows the counter attack. Sweeper and Yuri go back, but that was Zenik moving forward, and Sweeper wins the ensuing 50. Now, this is actually a very open-looking situation. Yuri almost had that pre-jump read, but couldn't quite make contact on the ball.
That was almost an amazing play. A tough read on the backboard by Sweeper, getting that big hit downfield. Yuri getting not only the first read, but following up for the second one. Almost puts that away. Couldn't quite. And now they find themselves trapped back in the corner here from Hawker. Fruity going to try and take the time, work it out together. Gets 50, trying to pass it out to midfielders. Hawker knows you've got to keep the ball in the corner. That is where it's safe. That's where it's the hardest to score from. But one thing you can't afford to do is double commit in the corner, as G-Royd now looking to convert that back into a pass. Ultras with a good clear met by Sweeper with 50s in the midfield. Just under 2 minutes to go. Sweeper with an opportunity, but just couldn't find the top corner.
Sweeper's recoveries have been so fun to watch, though. The dude's getting bumped and thrown around, but always seems to land with momentum, driving forward all 4 wheels. Like, the reaction time has been great. And these are the little things that separate, you know, your grand champs from your Supersonic Legends. Being able to always constantly maintain that momentum, given any circumstances. Ultras putting one towards the net, doesn't quite get that second touch. As you see G-Royd underneath looking to beat out Zenik. Actually maintaining possession, needs to get demoed. Ultras counterplay. It's coming off the backboard, has a chance. No! That's not the touch that Sweeper necessarily needed, but then recovers it all the same.
That was the touch, the one touch Ultras did not expect. Ultras expected the clear, Ultras expected the miss. Ultras did not expect the touch on
I
the
didn't
end there
expect
to put
that.
away. So it's such a hard thing to read. Sweeper doing a really good job of just playing unpredictable. Whether that was an intentional touch, I don't believe it was. But now Yuri trying to find that open net. Tough angle, couldn't quite. And Hawker needs to be a little bit careful here. They're starting to double commit, but they are turning it into good momentum. Fruity with a good demo in midfield. Would like to see a little bit more of that, as it does open up such good opportunities. Zenix now passing over to Fruity, looking to play off the corners. 3 players from CCPS find themselves in the corner, but Sweeper able to get the clear. Flip reset, can't quite get back to it, and Ultras will look for the clear.
Every time Sweeper throws that ball into the sidewall, it seems to cause a member of Hawker to overcommit and then make a mistake. And Sweeper's been going for it constantly throughout this second game. It's been kind of impressive how deep that well goes and how much use he's getting out of just sort of that horizontal touch. Ultras doesn't quite win that 50. Ball through the corner, a chance to end this in regulation. Yuri will be the one who takes the first shot. Ball will come up high as Sweeper Actually, watch out for him across that middle of the field. Goes for the challenge, loses out. Fruity gets bumped, and the ball should hit the ground. We go to a Game 2 overtime.
Yeah, and this is where you want to be if you're Hawker. You're trying to make that comeback, but this is do or die for them. They will find themselves in the lower bracket if they can't get this win. And was very hard there in that final few seconds. Ultra is just able to get back to get that clear. Finding themselves an OT here, and now Ultra is looking for a good opportunity. A double commit in the midfield might be the time to go quick here as they look off the backboard, but yet again, Sweeper finds themselves in the position on the backboard to get that clear, but both players have double commit. Fruity up for it.
No!
It's off. No one can put it away, but it does find its way, and Fruity gets rewarded for the shot, and they do find themselves holding on here in Game 2.
I thought that was bouncing out. You can see how slow and painful that was at the end. 1 kilometer per hour, Tins. I have never seen the 1 kph goal, and yet that one was all Hawker needed to get into a Game 3.
I think we need to save that. I think you're right. That has got to be the slowest goal in history of any competitive play. So that is unheard of, at least for me. So I think they were holding on to their breath. They just got there. The ball touched zero. I think Ultras was there for the follow-up. Yuri was coming at a very tough angle. But that being said, they hold on. They've done what has been needed. They got to Game 3. And this has improved so much from that first game. This is really looking like anyone's game here in number 3.
Okay, not to toot my horn too much here right about now, but I think that means I have now, like, been involved casting both, like, one of the fastest competitive goals of all time, which was, like, that 188 pinch from, like, the Asian tournament that I did before, and then the 1 kilometer per hour goal I've seen here. Like, that, I don't know, man. That's just kind of cool.
You've been witness to just moments of history in Rocket League. That's one of the great things about being a caster is you get to see great moments like this. And I'm glad you were here with me because I did not catch up the speed of that goal. I'm glad one of us did.
I mean, that was insane right there. Either way, we still have a Game 3 decider. Winner of this match, might I add, will be going up against SMCC's first team, not the second team we saw on stream earlier. They did fall. They've gone down to that loser's bracket, but SMCC first was able to find their win, so they will be advancing to that winner's final, and I'm sure they're watching on eagerly right now to see who they will be playing against. Ultras wants to make an argument for himself, but instead Sweeper steals it away, does enough on that challenge as well to keep the ball moving forward. G-Royd has a chance for an open shot, but puts it straight into the defense.
Yeah, it was looking good for Ultras on that attempt. Beats out 2 defenders, had 1 left in net. The only problem is that one person was Sweeper, and it's going to be very hard to try and take that one-on-one situation as Xenix with a really nice clear. They're doing a lot better at playing with each other, keeping the ball close, working it out of defense by themselves. But it might not be enough here as Sweeper gets the ceiling double, but not quite able to do anything with it. And Ultras will look to take the other way. 1 to beat here in the corner. Does pass in field, but Sweeper with a good clear downfield to G-Rod. Really nice hit up there as they look to play off the backboard in an awkward position. Sweeper is up for a look at a place. It does find it. That is one of the most fundamental counterattacks played perfectly here in Game 3.
Oh, yeah, just so fast up the field. And the thing that impressed me the most, actually, from Sweeper in that angle, Sweeper wasn't playing midfield. Typically, when you see that shot get set up, it is one attacker playing midfield, one playing along the corridor, and the one who's playing midfield is the one who finds that next strike. Sweeper was actually playing corridor, but had the speed to get midfield in time to find that shot, and not only that, that shot was open, as Sweeper comes through with a massive save yet again. Getting a little sick of just calling this player's name, however, coming through clutch time and time. I mean, it's been an amazing performance thus far. However, we have seen this blue side down before in a similar situation. They brought it back once. Can they do it again?
Yeah, and double commits might make that really awkward, but Fruity in a good position to put that one on target. Just saved aside there. Won't be able to convert on that one. Ultras keeping the pressure alive, playing to the backboard. Gets that demo, looking to really trying to force out Sweeper. But Sweeper doing a good job playing it over the defense. Fruity there to follow it up. Ultras choosing not to go for that as I feel like they're starting to panic a little bit. They're starting to get a few good shots on target, good shots onto the backboard, and CCPS starting to get a few double commits. Sweeper going for the flip reset. We've seen that a few times, but just can't quite find the second touch needed.
So strangely enough, I actually feel like Yuri may have bumped the defender into the save. G-Royd gets a goal. We're going to have to watch this one again. Fruity trying to clear, lost possession of it, and G-Royd just puts up a bit of a ceiling dribbler. I'm not sure what Xenix was trying to pull right there. Looked to be his failed squishy attempt, and that makes it a 2-0 game.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to come back from. They haven't been able to break down from a 2-0 lead in game number 1. Can they do it here? There's still plenty of time, but the way that CCPS are playing in this one, it seems like they've really made those mid-series adjustments to what they need to do to counteract that game 2 win here. And Ultras is going to be looking to get one on the board. Good speed, beats out Sweeper. Freddy is up for it, but just a little bit too far up. Couldn't quite get there in time. And Yuri with a good clear to buy their team time to just get the resources, get back on that quick counter-attack opportunity. Yuri playing really nice upfield, and Yuri been really showing up here in the last few seconds, just trying to get really good opportunities for their team.
Yeah, I've been actually quite impressed with Yuri, who's sort of adopted more of a third-man role for this orange side, but has been doing great at it. As we do see Zenix actually get a nice pinch across the middle. Sweeper, though, will read it, throwing it straight towards that backboard. Has that second touch, but Ultras able to make the save from behind. G-Royd, though, going to try and waterfall it in front of the net. Kept it a bit too high, and yet at the same time, strangely, not high enough. Either way, no goal to be scored just yet.
Yeah, and now Sweeper's on it. Looking for a clear, though, but we'll just play it from corner to corner here. As now Zenix, plenty of time, but no boost. So looks for a good infield pass to Fruity, but just couldn't quite get the power needed. Sweeper just seems really to know when that they need to express, when they need to rotate deep, and when to stay on the play. It's a very good skill that we're seeing really come in handy for the defense here. Is they've double committed, but Fruity is able to get a clear downfield. Ultra is waiting patiently for this one. Needs to beat out 2 defenders. Goes for the infield pass. Really nice pass play. Zenix just could not find the power needed to put on target.
As we do see the ball continue to roll along that side wall, eventually Sweeper will look to press forward, but Fruity does get there first. Lobs one up. Sweeper off that backboard finds the next touch over the center. Caught by Zenix, but reread by Sweeper. 30 seconds to go. Ball on the blue side of the pitch, and they might even score once more off that top crossbar. Not quite in. Defense clears it out. They need a fast counterattack, but Zenix instead crosses up the field.
Yeah, and Ultras is the one to do it here, but just possession a little bit too far away, not able to catch it in time. Sweeper will look for the clear. Pass over to G-Royd, gets a big downfield clear, and it might be what they need. Sweeper's there to follow. Soft touch, won't be able to find the net, but all you needed to do was buy time. 5 seconds to go. CCP have the 2-goal lead and have the victory here in the upper finals.
As we saw, Sweeper almost got an own goal to end this one out. Still, though, CCPS, yes, they advance to that winner's bracket final. And we already know their opponent's going to be SMCC first. And it's going to be an interesting one right now because CCPS, they beat the Season 1 champions. They're now going to be up against the Season 2 champions. And that could be their pathway to a grand final match. They have a chance to really solidify themselves as the tournament favorites as we get ready to go into our winner's bracket final.
Exactly right. If you can take out SMCC first team here, get that momentum needed, and really solidify yourself as the top dogs, as the people that are the team to beat in this tournament. It will be a great matchup as SMC seem to be coming off great momentum. Actually 2-0'd the second team, which I believe they went to a game 5 in the last season's grand final. So this will be a very good matchup, and we'll see if they have what it takes to try and know the ins and outs of how to counteract this CCP team.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting winner's bracket final for sure. Get through that, you get your first ticket to the grand final. Not going to want to miss this one. We will be throwing to a quick break, though, while we set the match up. But don't go too far. When we return, it's going to be a great battle. Hey, everybody, we're back. I told you it wouldn't be long because our players are just about ready to go for our winners bracket final matchup. Now, this is an interesting one. Our champions from last season coming into this still have been on a pretty undefeated tear. As you mentioned before, went 2-0 over their sister team in that semifinal. However, I still feel like, and this might seem controversial, the underdogs actually coming in because CCPS, they looked in peak form in that match we just saw on stream.
Yeah, they definitely each know their roles, and they're doing it so well to know what they need to do in order to get the win, demonstrating just the team chemistry. But SMC, I do want to give credit to them. A lot of them have been playing their heart outs in the offseason of this high school league. They've improved not only in their individual rank, but as a team as well. So I really think we're going to be seeing a peak SMC, better than the one we saw last season as well. As you know what, the players are that keen to get excited. They're already on the pitch, ready to go as we look to get into now a best of 5. We made it through to the semis. We're into the best of 5s now, a little bit longer, and we'll see how these teams go in that best of 5 situation.
Yeah, that we will as we quickly run through those lineups for SMCC first. It's going to be La Pista, Mazuwu, who's looking for a team, might I add, as well as Link Maniacs. Meanwhile, for the side of CCPS, it's that same lineup we just saw, Yuri, Sweeper, and of course, G-Royd, as after our first, 25 seconds, no kickoff goals to be had just yet, but it is CCPS on the attack. Sweeper with boost, with possession, going for that tight angle, a triple commit on defense, but it's just enough to make the save.
When you need to send 3 people at a touch like that, Yuri actually in the perfect position. G-Royd and Yuri really following up that offensive attack as soon as Sweeper's made such a good play like that to maintain, get the follow-up, because that's what Sweeper's going to do. Sweeper's going to do such amazing plays. We'll force out 2 or 3 defenders every single time with an attack, and you need to be there for that quick follow-up, and that just shows CCP knows what needs to be done, and they are playing really well together. I
mean, it's as you were saying before the goal was scored, when you have to commit 3 players to stop an attack, well, the answer is there's going to be no one left to stop the follow-up. As we see, yes, a quick goal being scored by that orange side CCPS. Almost have one scored against them. G-Royd is able to flick the ball to safety before getting demoed. Yuri just sort of waiting in the middle of the field because Sweeper's putting more shots on target. Following it up with the bump as well. This might open the doorway for Sweeper again, of course, who is absolutely everywhere. 2-0 lead now for CCPS.
It's almost funny to see because you see Sweeper go up for its shot and you're like, okay, and then, someone's up for another shot. You're like, is it this up? It's Sweeper again, going up for it yet again. Just the continuous attack, knows that all Sweeper has to do is just go get 30 or so boost off pads, maintain themselves in the play, and great passes from Jiro and Yuri are going to find their way into that midfield, and just really good plays here already coming out with 2 backboard pass plays. It really looks like SMC needs to start to look for that backboard defense.
Yeah, that they do. Again, backboard defense, reoccurring theme throughout the entirety of this season right now. And we've only seen 2 teams, effectively do it consistently, which is, of course, CCPS and Hawker, who we just saw before. Actually, their backboard defense has been quite impressive. This match right now, though, it looks like it still could be an exploitative area as the long shot from G-Royd actually hits its mark. And you can see the positioning aggressive from SMCC. No one's far back, and just enough power to make it a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, throughout the season and through last season as well, SMC do like to play a very aggressive play style. In your face, that midfield kind of possession where you're still in the boost is almost a kickoff play. Moz just couldn't quite put that one away, and they did like to play a very aggressive play style in your face, try and suffocate you on defense. But with the clears and with the ability that G-Royd and Sweeper have on that defensive end, you're going to have to kind of change up that play style a little bit more. Look to really make sure your defense is okay, as Moz forced a half flip in the midfield again. Luckily can get to this one to clear it aside.
Yeah, I mean, typically, though, I do like teams that posture aggressively and go for more of those midfield challenges, but you have to have the speed to be able to fall back at a moment's notice. And that half-flip fallback, yeah, it looked a little bit awkward, but at least Mazuwu was able to get back in time. Sometimes with these types of teams, they can't fall back, and that's where they run into issues, especially when they go up against, higher echelon, faster teams, which CCPS has proven to be. That's how come they've gotten such an easy 3-0 lead right now. And I wonder, does SMCC know how to adapt and change their style to sort of compensate the speed at which CCPS is playing? They have a best of 5 to do it, and I'm going to be excited to see how they pull it off.
Yeah, there's still got plenty of time to kind of work out how to play, as they might have already, as Mozu Wu putting one in there. Just that pressure yet again, getting that long clear dunk on Yuri in the midfield, leaving, I believe, G-Royd as last player back. And that's what you want. You don't want that 1v1 to come when Sweeper. You want to try and force Sweeper out, as you said. Make Sweeper go in front of the play. Look for that quick counter attack, and they did really well there, but still 2 more goals to go here. Have they figured out enough to try and get those 2?
2 goals, 2 minutes. It's going to be a tough ask against, probably the team emerging as the favorites of the tournament. However, Lincoln Max is able to find the second, dunking it right over G-Royd, I believe. And all of a sudden, a 1-goal game, that's looking mighty attainable.
Exactly right, and they're playing their 50s is what I'm really liking. They're able to get those wins. They're able to get those dunks. If you can send your first player at the play, get a big dunk on one of the players, you're going to put your team in such a great position. They've scored twice almost off it, so do like to see that Sweeper does get a very nice redirect clear downfield. Going to look to apply some pressure here. La Pista doing a really good job at getting that Kuxa pension, rocking the Kuxa car as well, rocking the Batmobile. So if there's anyone to try and pull off a pinch in this lobby, it's going to be them.
Yeah, I want to see more of that moving forward for sure. Just any sort of unique approach to try and get this CCPS defense off balance. That was not it, though. 50 in the midfield goes in favor of the orange side.
Yeah, and that's the awkwardness that we're talking about in midfield, backwards, not really knowing when to rotate out of the play. And I think that's what they need to do well. They need to send first or second player at the ball, force out that challenge. And third player needs to be rotating a little bit deep, because we've seen a few times that they've just had that midfield challenge or anything go the wrong way, and it's led to a goal for the side of CCP. So hopefully they can look to adapt in the upcoming games. They've still got plenty of time in this one to make that comeback, but right now CCP 2 goals up. They've been in this position many a time, and they have finished it. Sweeper with a good challenge now, Link Maniacs looking to finish that one off, but the double commit on the backboard might give them time to go quick, but just no one in the position to follow it up.
No one in at all right now, as we are seeing SMCC starting to play a little bit further back, actually, but it might be coming a little too late for them to have a realistic chance in this game. However, had Link Maniacs been able to catch that pass forward, we could see something. In fact, they still might get an attempt as Sweeper misses, but that turns to a pass up the field. Shot across the center will be saved by the third defender.
You can't help that. If anyone you think is going to hit the ball in defense, it's Sweeper. So going for the dunk rather than the shot, unfortunately didn't quite get the read. And now Lapista in awkward position here. Sweeper just trying to bait out the defense, buying time really, not trying to go too quickly, not trying to force anything, but doesn't work in their favor. Quick counterattack. Mozu Wu couldn't quite put that one in. And 20 seconds to go. They're still looking for that third goal.
But what's interesting is there's given opportunities. That's going to be the third goal right there. Third time is a charm. Been seeing a lot of these breakaway attempts, actually, and I'm a little bit curious how come CCPS is leaving the midfield so exposed. Eventually, it does break through. 15 seconds to go, Tins. Do we have a miracle in us?
Maybe it depends on how this kickoff goes, and I believe G-Royd is going to be going for the kickoff. Yuri, sorry, all 3 players wrong, but Sweeper going back there means that they will be able to get a nice defensive run here as G-Royd just trying to play the ball high, beat out defenders, really forcing an awkward position. As trying to pull one in, Link Maniacs there to follow it up. The miracle has been complete. They got the kickoff goal. 1 second to go, tie game.
Yeah, Sweeper just not expecting that cheeky press forward that sets up Link Maniacs. And all of a sudden, 1 second to go. I mean, we're in golden goal right now. Regulation, overtime, it doesn't matter. It's just whether or not this kickoff does something insane, which it will not. So overtime, game 1 in our winners final. This is looking to be shaping up. We got a great series on our hand, I feel like.
Exactly right, and in a best of 5, this is only just the beginning. We're gonna see some more midfield adaptation, mid-game adaptations coming out here as this game's just too exciting. Shot on target, but couldn't quite sweep it there to follow it up. Plays it to the corner. Mozzie had the opportunity, but just off target. Almost a fruity situation like we saw in the previous one, but just couldn't quite put it on. Moz with another opportunity, plays a little bit high, but Link's there to follow it up. They got the aggression, just can't quite find the conversion they need on net.
Yeah, they haven't been able to realistically put it through as La Pista is able to get it through. The defense gets cracked open, and it's SMCC first who strike first and take game number 1.
And I'm looking at the defense there. All 3 players had no boost. Sweeper making that challenge with, I think, 6 boosts. Yuri had none. And their other player, G-Royd, had just gone for back boost. So just suffocating them, holding their resources seems to be the way to get through to this team. And then SMC forcing those instant challenges, applying the pressure constantly once they're at that boost advantage seems to be how they're going to be looking to get through this game. It's worked out in game one. Still 2 more to go. They've still got to climb that mountain.
Yeah, there's still a lot of games to be had, and that's just in this first winners final. Grand final happening later today. Very likely could be seeing a rematch between these two teams if SMCC is able to win, just because of CCPS's victory over Hawker before, assuming that same trend does happen moving forward, as looks to be players waiting for that okay to go into our second game. As Yuri does settle in, Sweeper does as well. They want to make sure Sweeper's going for the kickoff, Tins. I think that's what that one was right there. As they do go for the kickoff, Sweeper does win out, but won't be able to stick with the play.
Yeah, might be the strategy. I don't know what the exact rules of that, but I think Yuri's having a little bit of joining problems, so they're just waiting for that to go ahead. As Sweeper now looking for the go-ahead. Beats out actually all 3 players, really forcing them on the defensive end, forcing to retreat back, but Lepista now doing a really good job at getting those midfield challenges, gets the dunk. Sweeper forced to make a save, just gets it and the double out, and that is the difference here with Sweeper and defense.
Oh, Mozuwu can't quite get that angle to put it through, and we've seen a few of those shots come from Mozuwu as well, but hasn't been able to train them consistently. There's been so many points left on the board, actually, from the SMCC side. I kind of wonder what happens when this blue team gets more consistent and more accurate with these strikes.
Yeah, they have looked very dangerous when they're shooting on all cylinders, but it just seems to be something they're not quite clicking. Maybe they're thrown off a little bit by the CCP side, exactly what to expect. And I really think with CCP, you've got to start to look at the names, at who you're really going at, who's the next person to challenge. I think that is a huge thing to know kind of what to expect, as Mozzie doing a really good job at getting that midfield challenge. Lepista catching themselves in a few awkward positions here. Maybe I think it's the ball side rotations coming out from the side of SMCC that is causing this little bit of awkward gameplay.
So I'm going to ask you, as someone who plays, semi-professionally and with professional players on the regular, how often are you able to, and how easy is it to track individual players on the opposite team? Because it is something that I always give credit to teams who do it well against some squads that have sort of like that one player to look out for. But obviously, the pace of the game can be so quick and so frantic. How easy is it exactly to trace that one player?
It's easy, but I don't think it's a necessity. At high-level play, when practically all 3 players are the players that you have to watch out for, it definitely doesn't make too much of a difference. I think it is something you need to take care of, especially when you're versing that one very mechanical player, or you're versing that one player who's just not quite up to scratch with the rest of the team. That's when it really comes in handy, and I think players with the ability to do that shows off. As we talk about Sweeper in this lobby, if you can track where Sweeper is on the field, and as you said, as soon as Sweeper's forced to challenge, forced to miss, that's when you really want to start sending on that offensive end. And I think it isn't as easy as said as done, but the teams that can do it, the players that can do it, will see a huge benefit if you can look to track that player.
Absolutely, and we've seen little hints of it at times actually coming from the side of SMCC. This hasn't been Sweeper's easiest series so far, especially when you compare it to the last one, as we see Sweeper going up for it again. This time finds the second touch, but is immediately challenged off of it. Another opportunity, though, as the ball could be falling down from the corner. Lapista and Lincoln Max don't make the play. Instead, wait to make the backboard defense. It's a swing and a miss, but the pressure was enough to hold Sweeper back.
Yeah, now Sweeper putting one onto the backboard, and a player actually just dipping to go get boost, almost found their way into the net, but couldn't quite. Really got a good attempt there, just couldn't quite get the shot on target. As now Yuri looking to keep that pressure alive. G-Royd going to be picking up from there, looking for that infield pass play. Sweeper waiting patiently in the midfield, but a really good challenge will keep possession here. Mozzie over to Lepista. Lepista going to be giving away possession here to Sweeper, and Mozzie yet again catching themselves trying to take possession here, trying to force out an attack, and it's what you really got to do. The only problem is Sweeper was the next person to challenge, and it's going to be hard to beat Sweeper out in the midfield.
Yeah, that's been a reoccurring theme. It feels like beating Sweeper in 1v1s at any part of the pitch, be it midfield, attacking, or defending, has been a challenge. Yet thus far, by playing a little bit further back at times, it does feel as if, SMCC have been able to find windows where they've been able to strike. Case in point, though, that's a shot coming from Sweeper over the top of CCPS, but it's the third member, Link Maniacs, who was able to find the read, find the touch. Now G-Royd pushing it forward, caught by Lepista, but that's an awkward touch. From underneath, though, Mazuwu able to create some space. So much respect being given to each of these teams.
Exactly right, and I think SMC are doing a really good job at starting to play towards each other. They're looking to work the ball out of defense together rather than with that solo kind of play. So really good to see that from them. We have seen them successfully do it in the past, but Sweeper with a good beat out in the midfield, looking for that backboard read. Yuri is there, gets the challenge. Giro in awkward position will look to try and get there first, but we beat out Link Maniacs now, looking to continue the play in the corner, looking for that midfield pass. You have all three players in net. Moz is up for it, couldn't quite get the read, but it might work out being a fake. Villapista couldn't quite get the touch. The panic causes panic, and G-Roy now looking to send it the other way. Good beat out, and it will be Sweeper's ball in their half.
Yeah, and Sweepers, just with no boost available, has to hard clear this one out. It's the ping pong game looking to be established. Now their team able to cheat too far forward. I think no one wants to lose this one in regulation, but the last shot may come from this orange side. CCPS backboards it back down, looking for Yuri. Shot not on target, and we go overtime for the second time in this series.
Yeah, it's looking to shape up a good one. We thought the last one might be a grand final future, but maybe it's this one. This is the level that we're going to be seeing just as this tournament progresses, and it's a really good level to be had, as now Mozzie looking to try and continue this play, but now Sweeper with the time does that. The boost goes for the infield pass play, but just no one quite there to follow it up. Both players catching themselves back awkwardly. And Link Maniacs taking advantage of the double commit awkwardness and puts that one away.
Link Maniacs has come through clutch now in back-to-back overtimes with similar-looking plays, to be quite honest. I believe in the first one had to use the backboard. This time just kept it in front from start to finish. And we're going to a Game 3 right now with the defending champs 1 game away from returning to a grand final appearance.
Exactly right, and they're just playing really well, and it seems like it's all on CCPS now. They just aren't playing seems like they're not communicating as well as they were in those previous matches. They just weren't looking for those infield challenges, catching themselves too far back. Sweeper really trying to push the offense when their teammates are stuck in their own net. So just maybe communication errors need to start helping each other on when they should be pushing up, when not to be pushing up, because it seems like SMC know what needs to be done. They're looking when to push up, when to push back, and all the advantages on them now.
As we get ready to kick off our third game, a quick score update for what has been happening in the losers bracket. SMCC's second team has fallen to GBCCS, so GBCCS advances to lowers round 2, where they will be taking on Hawker College, who beat GSLC Gold. So Hawkers College has also advanced 2-0 in their game. They will be playing against GBCCS right now. That match probably starting up right about as we speak. Shot from Sweeper is going to be knocked high. Now the winner of that match happening off stream will be taking on the loser right here, and right now that could be Sweeper and Co. unless they pull off a little bit of a reverse sweep.
Exactly right. They need to start applying that pressure that we've seen in those first 2 games, but SMC, they know exactly what needs to be done. Going for a few good fakes, but a double commit might work onto the backboard. Jiro and Sweeper with the double commit on the backboard might give at least another opportunity. Sweeper just getting back in time. We talk about that recovery and just enough to get back for that save.
Any more powerful, and that shot was going in right there. Link Maddox very good at putting the ball where they want it to. Power has been sometimes a little bit of an issue, but it hasn't been that big of a deal, because something that I've noticed Link Mannix has been doing very, very well is just always keeping the ball in front of them with these delicate touches. That's how we've been able to see these sort of midfield clears up where they've been able to dribble it the entire way, or sometimes actually find that right placement. I always love it when a player at high level knows don't always just slam the ball. Sometimes you want to dribble. Sometimes you want to do a little pass. I mean, the ball placement after every touch has been phenomenal.
Exactly right. Link Maniac's definitely showing the veterancy almost with that kind of play, because it takes a while to be able to play at this level, and with that kind of ability as a pinch between 2 opposing players in the midfield almost finds its way into the back of the net. But Yuri now trying to get that clear, can't quite follow up. G-Royd will force a dunk here, and Sweeper last one back, forcing out Mozzie into the corner, and Link Maniacs will be there to follow it up. Puts the ball in such an awkward position. Almost finds its way there, able to get the clear, and Link Maniacs doing a really good job at just playing around the defense, whether that means playing it into an awkward spot on the backboard, just shooting on net, forcing out defenders. Mozzie forcing out a few defenders there. Link Maniac in the perfect position. This team is unstoppable.
When you can cause 3 defenders to commit, it opens the door for whoever's next. And again, intelligent ball handling. I mean, Uwu knew I don't need to go hard here. If I keep things delicate, that means Link and Maniacs will be able, with the tight spacing, follow through at a quick velocity, just slam it through that open net before the defense can recover from the triple commit, and now you're looking at a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's all about causing that panic, and it seems like all three players are playing very panically right now on the CCPS side. As Sweeper now putting one into the bottom corner, but saved yet again by Link Maniacs. We always talk about that one player that just seems to be everywhere, and right now, that is Link Maniacs doing it on defense and doing really well on offense, as well as Mozubu gets a nice 50 in the midfield. Looking for the double from G-Roy to just sneak that one by.
Oh, my favorite kind of redirects that you can see are always going to be the ones coming from behind. Link Maniacs actually knew that one was coming as well. Usually those touches can catch defenses off guard, but unfortunately the recovery not quite there, and we got ourselves a tie ball game.
Yeah, it's really well played there. You do love to see those it's all about being useful upfield. Once you've upfield, you're usually out of the play. So what can you best do to try and quickly turn that around?
Boy. Rule 1 in a winner's final. I just want to bring that up right now as Sweeper nearly finds the goal. We are sitting... Okay, looks like the Rule 1 did get broken up. Shot! Saved by La Pista from inside the goal. G-Roy still trying to keep the pressure on. Link Maniacs will clear it through the corner.
Yeah, Rule 1's at this level. Like, it's up to the players. At the end of the day, we love to see Rule 1. Rule 1's one of the oldest rules in Rocket League. It did get broken, but this is a very intense game, especially for the side of
It was
CCP.
a reverse, though. It was a reverse Rule 1. Do those count?
I don't know. We might have to look. I think it's connection between two cars that are in a stalemate. We might have to look at who actually broke it. We can see. It might be a replay analysis that we do after this tournament. True. It was always good. You got to see who's the one that broke it.
There was a game the other day for a different event that I came across. I didn't actually get to cast the game, but I had the screenshot sent to me. Triple Rule 1. All 6 players were in a Rule 1.
What do you do? What do you?
Well, the clock
like
just ran down. It was like a 3v1 finish. Yeah, the clock just ran down.
Respect. See, you just got to respect that. At the end of the day, it's the player's opportunity. If they want to break it, they can break it. But it is always good fun.
I think it involved the Donkey Squad as well. If you want to, go that. Does that surprise you?
I respect that. Then that makes sense that the Donkey Squad was on that end right there, going for that Rule 1. Is now Sweeper looking to take it all the way. It's in the air, full court air dribble to put that one away.
Oh, Sweeper, you are so good at this game. It was a triple touch at the end off the top post because all of Sweeper's goals come from there. But the recovery into the clean dribble for the second half of the pitch, a thing of beauty. 2-1 lead, as it looks like we're not done with the clean sweep here.
We're not. Sweeper probably watching the stream saying, what are these guys talking about? Let's get back to the game plan. I'll start us off. Great play there to get that lead. Start that spark that you need to make this comeback here in this best of 5 reverse sweep. Yuri now keeping the pressure, looking to pass in the midfield. Passes high. G-Royd is up for it. Backs off, I believe, for Sweeper. Puts that one away. What a good play. Good communication, and Sweeper with the power.
Yuri, a great little setup as well off that backboard, but absolutely Sweeper, when given space, given time, can put that ball wherever they want. A 3-1 lead, Tins, and it looks like we will be marching towards a game number 4.
Exactly right, and this might be the momentum needed. I really felt like they were missing that momentum. They were missing that spark, and now they might have found it, and shot after shot on time. Can Lapis to get there in time? Can't. Sweeper is shooting on all cylinders. 3 goals. Everyone on their team has an assist. This is what they need to get that spark back.
That's not just 3 goals. That felt like it was 3 goals in a span of about like 20 seconds. Sweeper just becoming unglued. And we always talk about how Rocket League is the game of momentum, and sometimes you need a play just to fire you up. I think that dribble was such a play because the difference, the immediate difference out of Sweeper to finish off game number 3 right here, I mean, you can see it. In fact, Sweeper's not done. Going for another. Nearly drops that one in as well. Sweeper cannot be stopped, and I'm sure they're going to be a little bit disappointed that they have to take a break before Game 4 starts.
Exactly right. You wish you could just keep this going, but that's what it's going to be. In comms, you need to be hyping yourselves up. You need to be keeping that energy because you need that energy brought straight back in. Since the Game 4 kickoff, it needs to be happening here, and what a comeback there from the side of CCP. They got that edge ball, they got that momentum, and then they did not stop. They're doing really well at just getting those long shots on target. They're starting to play more in tune with each other. They're looking for those passes in the midfield, and they're there for them. And that's what they've been missing. That's what they're finally getting back to. And it is really good to see. Can they keep it alive here in Game 4? Can they get to the illustrious Game 5, pull off that reverse sweep? Only time will tell. We've still got Game 4 ahead as the players are looking to get started here. And what an interesting... I believe you're right. I think it was the last 30 seconds in that Game 3.
He got 3 goals over the span of, I think it was 18 seconds. Like, that was bam, bam, bam. Sweeper just absolutely putting on a clinic, it felt like. Us. We are waiting. It looked to be a little bit of a disconnect issue, so hopefully we'll be back into match shortly right now. And here's the crazy thing. Like, if this series does go the distance, 5 games, they might be rematching, and this could be our grand final as well, depending on how the losers bracket plays out. We could see 10 games between these two teams.
Exactly right. That's such a thing, whereas there's no game advantage. There's no bracket reset. So if you happen to lose this game, especially in a reverse sweep, or whoever does manage to go into that losers round 3, the losers final, makes their way back up, it is a fresh start. It is a fresh best of 5. We could see, you're right, another Game 5, another reverse sweep. It's really just a matter of who can keep the momentum and who can play their game will be the winner of these two teams. It is very interesting to see the two different play styles as they're finally starting to get more in tune with each other, like we saw in that first second series of the day. Sorry, DCP doing a really good job playing with each other. Yuri doing a really good job at being kind of a menace upfield. Once they've gone past the ball, they're looking for demos, they're looking for upfield redirects, they're looking to keep involved in the play. And then you've got Sweeper. Sweeper trying to do it all. Sweeper knows when to push the pace, when to go for the solo play, and involve their teammates. As well, we've got Lapista, we've got Link Maniacs, who just seems to be everywhere. Everyone on this field seems to be playing at their best, and it's just a matter of who can get those final goals will be the winner.
Yeah, that is going to be the case. I'll let you answer that question, by the way, that's being posed right now. I'll put that one up to you. I don't want to be the one. So it looks like we might be throwing to a technical break while we go ahead and fix things up. So don't go too far. Okay, hold on. We will be right back very quickly to continue this winner's final series. All right, everybody, we are back. Apologies for that little bit of a delay. As you saw, a bit of a technical issue, but the lobby has been remade, and as you can see, players, well, nope, not able to stay in. And this could be turning into a little bit of drama, and what is a grand final day without some elements of drama, I suppose. Yuri in this connection. I mean, we've seen them drop out a couple times in-game. Now we're seeing them struggling to get into game. Does CCPS have to play through the rest of this tournament, perhaps in a 2v3 situation?
I'm not too sure. I don't think they'll have too much time to try and sort out this technical issue. And it is a problem with online tournaments. Unfortunately, it can be the device that these players are playing on. It can be internet issues. There's countless things that can go wrong. Unfortunately, it seems to be happening to Yuri. It has happened since that second series. So I think they might be having, if you want to take over real quick, I'm going to quickly sort some stuff out to see just the exact ruling on this.
No worries. We'll figure out right now whether or not a sub can join into the fray. Obviously, that question was just proposed, and hopefully, for CCPS's sake, I mean, they would love to get that sub in right now. They're in kind of a crossroad. I mean, the momentum in their favor. And this is exactly what you never want to have happen, because in Rocket League, you want to keep that momentum going. You can't afford these longer breaks because it gives your opponents that chance to just reset and get themselves mentally back in this matchup. And then when you bring in a sub now as well, just as CCPS was starting to really vibe with each other and get themselves back up to pace, it does feel as if this could be a bit of a blow. And SMCC, you know, if they're hungry like the sharks that they are, they should be smelling that blood in the water.
Exactly, and it's going to be so harsh because we talked about momentum. We talked about how well it plays. You got 3 goals in 18 seconds. Now you're having a 5-minute break or so. This is going to be detrimental to their ability. Not only that, but they're going to have to learn how to play with a different player. Everyone in Rocket League has a very unique play style, majority of the time. And if you're bringing out someone who likes to play upfield a lot or likes to play third man and replacing them with an opposite, is going to take a while to kind of learn how to play with that new player. And is that going to be an issue with the side of CCP? Are they going to come in and they're just going to be able to play their game? Or are they going to spend too much time worrying about their own rotations, their own adjustments? And is it going to mess up with their play style so far?
Yeah, it'll be curious to see how this one will sort of pan out. Definitely high drama in this winner's final at this stage as we wait to see for the substitute to get onto the pitch. They are loading in, so it shouldn't take too long. Maybe a little bit of a patch update for, well, if you haven't seen it, I can show you that right up there in shop right now, the Gridiron Dominus cars. Now, I know most Australians probably could care less, but I know I'm going to be getting that Green Bay Packers one. I'm in. I'm always in.
I think we've had this conversation many a time. When the Formula One cars came out, you loved rocking.
But this is a Dominus. This is a straight up Dominus now.
Yeah, well, you do like the Dominus more. So, you know, they came out previously in the item shop. They were just the Octane variants. Now they've got the Dominus. Hopefully soon they bring out the Fennec. But, you know, all the Dominus players out there, now you've got an amazing new NFL support for the Dominus.
They even have my team up there on the billboard right there, which is pretty sick as, oh, hey, guys, let me just get rid of my Steam messages before people realize what they can do.
Well, the players are actually ready to go. They got the sub. Actually, Yuri's joined back. Never mind, Yuri. Absolutely keeping us on our toes now. Now looking to get back into this game number 4. Is it too late to maintain that momentum? Are they going to come in with that same kind of aggression? Or will we see a complete mental reset here in the series?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm hoping we get to see some strong play coming from realistically both these sides. I mean, that was a long break, and SMCC, if you go back to game 1, they were actually the slower team out of the gates, but they hit sort of that max speed first. We'll be curious to see whether or not they're able to get back to that max speed a bit faster right now as ball up for grabs in the middle of the field. Link Maniacs, who has been the star player for SMCC, does get there first. Now Sweeper versus Mozuwu, and Sweeper wins out on that first play. G-Royd versus La Pista goes off the backboard shot from Yuri, saved by the defense.
Yeah, shot after shot. Every player from every team getting involved on whether the defensive or the offensive, and they're none able to score those. The Pista now trying to set it the other way. Gets a good demo, beats a pass. One Sweeper is left though. Actually, a pass to Mozzie, but couldn't quite convert. And that is what you need to do to beat Sweeper in the defense. Keep Sweeper guessing at what you're trying to do.
I love the pass that we just kind of got a hint of from Link Maniacs in the corner right there. That was one of those passes that was so fast and so accurate that I don't even think the teammate of Mozuwu, who was underneath, expected it. Just dropped that ball perfectly down from the corner to his lap. I mean, both of these teams, it doesn't feel like they've lost a beat at all. We're seeing fast, aggressive play from each side, very intelligent and accurate touches. This could be another one of those games that winds up being quite low scoring, or G-Royd's going to get one here. 1-0 lead in favor of CCPS.
The classic Caster Curse coming out there, but this time a really nice pass play. And we have seen that time and time again from Yuri. Yuri's doing a really good job at being useful in the corner. And the corner is one of the hardest places to either get a score or get a clear. And Yuri's doing such a good job at not using the corner to pass it in terms of just banging it onto the backboard, banging it into the corner. Instead, looking for the midfield pass plays, and they have scored countless times. This time, G-Royd on the receiving end of one of those passes, and just such a great play. And maybe it's a good thing that Yuri was able to reconnect and get back into this game.
Yeah, Yuri continuing to keep that forward momentum, and it's going to be so important, I feel like, for CCPS to keep Yuri and that internet connection stable. As we do watch Mozuwu from underneath, trying to make that read. They go for a pinch play, and it does breach the gap. Now it's a double commit for that midfield boost. Eventually, Lincoln Max gets there first, but Mozuwu had to pull back because it's a double commit, and that's going to slow this attack down. Yuri, though, losing the 50 in the middle of the field is quite beneficial for SMCC. Sweeper going for that next touch, has the ball taken away. G-Royd, though, keeps it held up high, and that's going to buy time for Sweeper to rotate back. Going to need to because it's a 2v1. Pinch keeps it held up, and Sweeper will clear it.
Yeah, a few double commits now coming out from Lepista and Mozzie, and just not able to get that clear communication.
Oh!
Trying to keep this one close. Mozzie actually going for the demo, which is a huge play. Just couldn't quite get there soon enough. Link's trying to keep that pressure alive, going for the dunk. Good clear out to the corner. And now Link Maniacs having to rotate out, but Lepista cleaning up where they finished off, trying to still boost, trying to get those. But the pinch coming out from G-Roid onto the back defense. Link is really awkward. Yuri's up for a putting shot on target. Too slow, but gets the dunk. Couldn't put that away. Yuri with a great opportunity, but really good defense to keep that out of harm's way.
And this feels like the... Wait, what? Okay, interesting double fake right there. As I was saying, this feels like the kind of game where a 2-goal lead is probably going to win you a game and potentially a match as we continue to move along right now. SMCC, they're looking more and more desperate for that goal. They are trying interesting things. That double fake definitely was unique, but very good job from CCPS to kind of like read it and follow through and get that clutch save. Less than a minute and a half to go right now, and SMCC, they're running out of chances.
Yeah, just constant attack after attack coming out from CCP. They're doing a really good job at just keeping them starved in their own resources and in their own half, as Sweeper now looking to go all the way. Won't quite get the angle, so we'll look to play it close. Forces Lepista out of a shot. G-Roid is up for a nice and early. Good pass yet again, and Sweeper is being the setup play, but Yuri and G-Roid there with the connection here in this game.
We talked about before what happens when CCPS finally has their teammates kind of rise up to the level of that star player, and we're figuring it out. They sort of develop into this hyper-aggressive, constantly attacking team that is so tough to defend against because everyone is just winning 50s in front of the net, and everyone can get such power on strikes like we saw right there. However, be too aggressive. Sometimes the counterattack can't come through. Unfortunately for SMCC, both attackers wound up in front instead of behind the ball, so it's a delayed attack and one that Sweeper can read.
Yeah, now Sweeper looking for the long clear. Goes all the way. We almost saw an air dribble like that come out earlier, but couldn't quite get the boost to continue this one. But it will be a nice clear to start the momentum here. Is actually Mozzie going to take over, try and put that one on target. Sweeper with a big clear downfield. Can Lepista get back in time? Yes, for the clear into the corner, but it's not going to stop the attack. Yuri with a good pass actually bounces extremely high. No one going to get to that, and Mozzie will look for the clear.
Yeah, with 20 seconds remaining, a 2-goal differential, Tins. I feel like we're going to that Game 5 right now. It was a long break between Games 3 and 4, but momentum certainly not lost for CCPS. One game away from getting that reverse sweep.
And can they pull it off? They will find themselves in that Game 5 with this victory here. And you're right, the 2-goal lead is just too much. The defense was at a high level this game, and 2 goals is going to secure you that win. They will just really look to continue that momentum, and they had it. We talked about the long break. Will that affect it? It's not going to. Yuri and G-Roid, I believe, really stepping up and playing amazing with that infield connection between each other. And Sweeper doing a really good job of just maintaining that, rotating around, working out, getting those long clears downfield. And when it's finally time for Sweeper to go, they're keeping it close. They're taking possession, looking to work the ball up the field themselves, and then letting just G-Roy and Yuri really take over.
Yeah, and that is the first game I think we've seen from CCPS that they've gotten a victory without Sweeper scoring a goal. Like, Sweeper didn't get any of the points that time. Both of them came from G-Royd, and that is a scary side moving forward in and of itself, as well as we get ready to kick off what will be our fifth, still in best of 3 mode, our 5th and final game of this winner's final. 5 more minutes put up on that clock. Winner goes to the grand final and gets what some would consider a 50-50 chance to take it all home. Lepista off the kickoff is going to have that first strike off the backboard, but no follow through down the middle. Instead, we kind of go up the other way. Yuri with a chance doesn't beat Mazuwu to the ball.
Yeah, good patience there from Moz to just maintain possession, get that big clear needed. And now the infield pass, Lepista up early. Car switch into the Fennec, and maybe just what they needed as they put one away.
Yeah, that's a 20-second goal to go ahead. Link Maniacs, just a nice pass outward. It was high, it was deep, and that ensured that we would see SMCC getting to the ball first. They put that shot accurately on target. 1-0 lead for the blue side.
Yeah, it's such a good way to get that corner pass, but keep it, you're right, keep it deep into the midfield. A lot of problem with these corner passes is they go to the backboard or they go way too far into the possession of the team on defense. But very nice placement will lead to that first goal. Might lead to a quick counterattack here. Yuri wouldn't with a shot on target, but Lynx yet again seems to be one of the better defensive players here for the side of SMC as they look to keep that one out of the back of the goals. As G-Royd looking to keep possession, couldn't quite put that one on target, and Link just trying to really play time here, let their team get back into the position needed, but a double commit, put that one into the back of the net. Yuri this time on the scoring end.
I don't think that was a double. That looked like a triple to me. Sweeper sets the play up. G-Royd finds the next touch, and then it's Yuri from underneath. 1, 2, 3. All players hit the backboard until Yuri hits the goal. Tie ball game. Still less than a minute in. Both these teams going back and forth.
Maybe it was the reset needed. Maybe Yuri's internet connection is feeling a lot better because Yuri has been doing everything on the defensive end, on the attacking end in terms of passes, and now scoring. Definitely really showing up for the side of CCP as they look to try and continue this. It's still a tie game. Moz still has time to put this one on target, but it is going to be cleared aside. Sweeper with a big EU clear downfield. And Yuri yet again playing deep into the defensive end there for the follow-up.
Yeah, Yuri just really trying to have as much of an impact against the opponent's rotation as possible. And we've seen that come into play in a positive light. I mean, CCPS, since Yuri has started playing this style, have been winning games. It's pretty straightforward, so I don't expect this to stop. Although we are seeing SMCC starting to react. They're keeping the ball actually a lot higher up off the ground, and Yuri spending a lot of boost to sort of go forward and run this disruption. Hasn't been able to go for a lot of these aerial challenges, and it means that as soon as the ball gets up high, we are looking at sort of 2v3s, but Yuri, when the ball stays low, can find goals. 2-1 advantage for CCPS.
Yeah, and just such an awkward position there for Link Maniacs. Really probably giving too much credit there to G-Royd, hoping for a pinch midfield, just not reacting correctly. And Yuri there for the cleanup to put that one away. That is a 1-goal lead here for CCP. And it just seems like SMC are panicking on defense. They're not really trusting themselves, playing a little bit slower, and they're just getting outpaced by CCP.
That they are, and now is not the time when you can afford these little mistakes to happen. That, however, was a good dunk. However, Sweeper still gets to the ball first, and we'll have time to follow it up, one would think. Light touch by the green Lambo, and that's enough to get the ball across the middle of the field. Back and forth we go. Yuri from underneath doesn't have the read. Lapista instead gets the clear.
Yeah, and a big clear as of that. Sweeper actually getting boost starved as well. Really nice from, I believe, Lapista to take that corner boost, keep them starved, as now Sweeper in an awkward position, 12 boost to work with, and not going to be able to get a good clear here. Choosing a fake, G-Royd taking over. Lapista looking to play into the corner. 2 players double commit here, and it will give time for the side of CCP to make that counter attack happen. Now as G-Royd on it, beats out 1 defender. Link Maniacs now going long. Lapista there for the follow-up. Yuri in the corner. 2 minutes to go. 1 goal down. They have an opportunity. It is in the midfield, but it means they can't follow up. Yuri there to get there. Link Maniacs couldn't quite put that in.
Yuri made the initial whiff and gave the entire team a case of the whiffles, yet was able to recover in time. Nearly finds a pass underneath for an open goal. A second touch misses as well. Maybe hasn't fully recovered yet from that diagnosis. Still, though, with only a minute and a half remaining, ball on the blue side of the pitch. Sweeper looking to potentially put this game away. Accidentally kept the ball a bit too high. G-Royd takes it down low, where Link Maniacs gets the save.
Yeah, now Lapista's going to look to clear this one out for boost, so we'll be giving away possession. Yuri with a ball side rotation that actually makes it easier for Sweeper. They're now Sweeper in a 1v1 situation. This is where they want to be, but Link with a good early challenge. And that's what we need to see more often. Yuri shot on target. Couldn't quite convert, but these instant challenges on defense are working a lot better than taking your time and letting the play unfold. So really good to see that from Link, but can it be enough? Is it quick enough as Lapista giving away possession in midfield? G-Royd is up for it. Link with a good clear into the center.
That's in!
Yuri's there. You can't clear the ball into the midfield. Unfortunate touch. Yuri there to capitalize.
Yeah, Link Maniacs was, I think, trying to corner it, but wound up overshooting it and wound up just dropping the ball in an awkward spot. And poor Mazuwu in a 2v1 situation in the box like that, unless the attackers shoot it straight into you, you're not making that save. Massive lead right now for CCPS. They are less than a minute away from going to our grand final.
Yeah, and what a way to achieve that grand final appearance. Reverse sweep here. Is Link finally looking to get one on target, but it is going to be cleared apart. They are looking to keep this pressure. Sweeper with really good placement. Gets the long EU clear. Might be past everyone, but Moz is there to play that one aside. Yet again, Sweeper already on the play. by the time SMC even got back to defense.
And now with just under 30 seconds remaining, you can see SMCC, they're stuck on their own backboard. They haven't been able to create any defensive spacing for themselves. They need to go for challenges like this, and maybe they get something because Lake Mannix has the shot. Yuri underneath again. Talk about someone who looks better and better after each passing game. Finds the clear, finds an attempt at least for a go-ahead series-clinching goal. But guess what? He already scored that about 30 seconds ago. CCPS advance to the grand final.
And what a way to do it. Pulling off the reverse sweep. They didn't look too good in that first series, in the first 2 games. But sweep up, turning on the Jets in that 3rd game, getting 3 goals in 20 seconds. And from there, they continued the momentum. You're right, Yuri looking better and better with each game. Seems to be in all the right positions. 3 goals there as they look to take the lead. And they will find themselves in that grand final match awaiting their opponents.
That they will. But before we get to that, we're going to be throwing it to a quick little break, but when we come back, it's going to be Hawker College who got over CBCCS in that losers quarterfinal. They won that series 2-0. Now they get to play another best of 5, this time against, well, SMCC first. So a little interesting matchup for sure. Our Season 1 versus our Season 2 victors. They're going to be at it for a chance to get to the grand final against CCPS. It's going to be a fun one. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back with our final 3 here at AEL. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us through that break. As well, we made you wait because it was all going to be worth it. Only 2 best of series left to determine who our Season 3 champion is going to be. In a sense, our challenger, they're already in the grand finals. We just need to figure out which champion they're going to be up against, and that's what this next game is going to determine. Season 1 champions Hawker, Season 2 champions SMCC are now getting set to do battle. Only one of them will make it to the grand final, Tins, and I'm going to throw you right on the spot straight away. Who is winning this match?
I really think the momentum and the team play here from SMCC, if they can find what they had in those first 2 series, but I think we might be looking the distance here. I think we might be looking at a game 5. We might be looking at a game 4. Both these teams, I think, are such a good level. And I think it's almost poetic at this stage where the winner gets to verse the new up-and-coming team, considering that we have both Titans here. We have the Season 1, the Season 2 grand finalists going up against in losers round 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting match for sure, I think, for that reason alone. Because you always kind of wondered what would have happened had Hawker kind of played in Season 2. They never really gave up that title crown, considering the fact that, well, they sort of won Season 1, took a bit of a break, and now they're back. And obviously the level of competition has risen from what we saw back then. Now they're in this position where they've had to make that loser's bracket run. Meanwhile, you look at SMCC, they just took, the CCP all the way to that game 5 before. It was 2 quick wins for them. But you also have to consider the fact they've been on a bit of a downward trajectory because while, yes, they did go the distance, they have lost 3 games in a row right now. Maybe that bit of negative momentum might hurt them here.
Yeah, exactly right. And we talked about in the previous series, this game is a lot about momentum. Luckily, we did have a 10-minute break. We had time for these players to reset. I know some players have been warming up in ranked lobbies already to try and spark that momentum starting there, bring it into this series. But it is very interesting because if you look at the 3 teams we have left, we have the 3 teams that went undefeated through the group stages. They have made the distance. They have made it to that top 3 position, rightfully so. Just who's going to be the team to convert? Is it the Season 1 finalists, which they did win Season 1. They actually won Season 1 in a 2v3. They were the team that only had 2 players. They managed to get that win. They probably came back this season realizing the level has gone to a whole new level as AEL continues through to term 3. Do they have what it takes to bring it to Season 2 champions? Can they make it through that upper bracket? Or is SMC going to be able to turn around? Because we did see some amazing things from them in the first 2 games of that previous series.
Well, I do remember back at the start of Season 3 actually having a conversation with Ultras about, where they think they're going to finish out and straight up acknowledge the fact that, yes, this season was going to be a lot harder than Season 1. And the expectations were a top 4 for them. Considering sort of the player pool, and they highlighted these other 2 teams in SMCC and CCP as being like, okay, these are some serious teams. So in that regard, I do feel like Hawker, they have obtained their sort of expectations of themselves, and they can consider this season a success. However, that's according to Hawker. I'm a bit stricter of a judge, Tins. I feel like if you're going to be the Season 1 champion, then maybe you should be able to defend it proper. I feel like they can take it to SMCC, and you know what? I'm actually going to make the prediction the other way. I actually believe Hawker has a chance to take this matchup down. We won't know, though, until we get into it. It looks like the players have jumped in, and I believe we're ready to give that okay to go.
Exactly, and I think these players are ready to kind of prove the fact. I'm going to shout out, have a little bit of a go at Ultras there. A top 4 prediction. I think that's a little bit undermining your own ability. I really think they should be going for that top 2 or nothing. This is the series that they want to be winning. And on the other side of the spectrum, as we look to get into game number 1 in this best of 5, Mozzie has been trying constantly to do scouting reports, and Lapista is starting us off there with a goal, already trying to bring that momentum into this game.
That didn't take long at all, but Fruity's touch just wasn't followed up by Ultras, who kind of just sat in box and didn't play aggressively. And this is why I always like to make the comparison to baseball or cricket. You have to run up to the ball. You need to attack it. If you play that passive style against other high-quality teams, they're going to beat you to the play time and time again, and that time around, Ultras just got beat.
Yeah, it's all about working with your way into momentum, and that cricket analogy is perfect. Every time the bowler is running in, you want to be moving in the field. You don't want to be at a stationary, flat-footed, because it will make it harder. to win those challenges. Challenges and 50s and dunks, they're all about momentum. The player with the more momentum, the more height is usually the one that comes out victorious. As shot after shot coming out on target, goal line saves there from Ultras just to keep that one out of the way, but it's not yet. Shot again coming out from Lynx Mania. Saw an amazing series from them in the previous one, but couldn't quite convert there.
As we do see now a double commit actually across the middle for Hawker. That was between Zenix and Fruity, I believe. Mozuwu goes for the redirect. Barely making the save was Zenix, as we are seeing some dynamic attacking coming from the SMCC side. They're out to a quick lead, and it feels like every time they touch the ball, it's a threatening touch towards that goal.
Exactly. I think the difference is hopefully Hawker can get rid of the double commits and things like that they were doing in that previous series. They did find themselves kind of on top of each other, so if they can work to sort that out here as SMC, they do a really good job at maintaining that pressure, maintaining momentum. I think against this kind of team, they're going to be able to keep that aggressive play style that they like. An amazing redirect coming out from Lynx, but just couldn't quite put that one on target. But I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to Mozzie, because I know Mozzie has been very keen for this season to come back and prove themselves time again. They have been trying to do scouting reports. They've been trying to find out what their competition is going to be like, and I think they are really waiting for this opportunity to get back into that grand final.
And I love hearing stories like that when, you know, these students come through at events like this and they treat it seriously. They do their research, they prep, they have strategies in mind, and these are some of the important skills that both esports and traditional sports, you know, help build for a lot of these athletes. And at this stage, I will go so as far as to say that the students who have made it this far in this tournament can 100% call themselves athletes in this regard. They've already displayed the practice and sort of the stick-to-itness skills, the teamwork, the communication, and the equalizing goal if you're in Fruity's case, courtesy of a demo straight down the middle.
And I've talked about veterancy before, and that's what that takes. Ultra's not going for the ball, realizing there's one player left, going for the player instead. And that is the kind of players you want on a team. The smarts, the IQ to be able to go for that kind of play, to get that goal on the board. This is shaping up to be an amazing series, and we're only here in game one. There's still plenty of a mountain to climb for both of these players.
Yeah, this series far from being over, or even realistically being settled in yet, as we do see Zenix look for a pass down below, running to a bit of disruption. Now Mozuwu looks to clear back up the other way. That will set up Link Maniac, and with the ball through the corner, La Pista actually has a chance. Not a lot of boost to work with, so won't follow through immediately. Tight spacing now, tries to go for a quick play, but is unable to get the shot on target.
Yeah, that is an aggressive second-man push, trying to pull that one off, but couldn't quite as good defense on the goal line. Seems to be the story so far here for Hawker College, is yet again making that save. They need to turn that into quick counterattacks, though. They need to start pushing up the field, being in passing positions, other than just really three-stacking or having two players caught in net for these players. It's Fruity now, shot opportunity. Link Maniacs will be there to play that aside, and now they're pushed straight back on the defensive end. Zenix looking to continue this one with that infield pass off the backboard, and that's one thing we're starting to notice from these teams. Backboard defense is starting to become more involved in this kind of play style.
Yeah, absolutely. The backboard defense from each of these teams actually has been quite consistent, so Ultras just keeps it straight in front. That seems to be a nice adjustment right there. Shot straight down the middle, 2-1 lead in favor of Hawker.
Yeah, Ultra is really good at putting the ball in awkward positions. Not necessarily the best position in terms of just shooting it on top corner, shooting anyway, but realizing, wait a minute, the defense is in front post backwards. This is the position I've got to shoot that in, and Ultras has played in tournaments outside of AEL. Really what I would call a veteran in this league, and definitely showing it, but the youngins coming out with power, just aggression, pushing up the field. La Pista putting that one away.
Yeah, and that, you know, shows perhaps a weakness a little bit in Ultras' gameplay. Great on the attack, on defense. Second time, they didn't really take that aggressive angle and sort of challenging for the ball. And even though it wasn't the deepest clear through the corner, it was just deep enough due to the passive line taken. And now we got ourselves a tied ball game.
Yeah, I want to point, because we talk about how backboard defense is now being used, but it's not necessarily a backboard. These players are now starting to use the side of the backboard. Like, they're not going for the height, they're not going for directly on top of it. They're trying to put it in very awkward positions where players don't know whether they should be challenging, whether they should be waiting for the touch. And by the time they've made that adjustment, it's too late. That's 2 goals in a row that have been scored like that. And now Moz looking to get a third, but Fruity playing nice and high to get that clear. Link looking to follow up, gets a beat out in the midfield. La Pista is there to follow, but will play high in the In the goal square.
No
Looking to beat
way!
out. Good smoke. They couldn't find the connection. Opportunity just out of reach.
Link did so much work for that setup as well. Very unfortunate that they won't be able to find the goal. Still, Mazuwu is going to go ahead and try to get some space on it. It's going to be Lapista who gets the clear. Mazuwu was forward, but loses out on the challenge to Ultras. Now Link Mannix throws it back towards the net. Mazuwu again going for a redirect in front of the net. Has been looking for one of those all game long. Not going to find it. 2-second shot! Saved on the goal line by Fruity, and we're going to a game 1 overtime.
The goal line saves yet again, just putting that one out of harm's way and then dropping it as quickly as possible to try and force this OT here in such good offensive attack here. And this is what I was talking about, that they didn't really get to do against CCP. This constant aggression of shot after shot after shot. What a save from Ultras to play that one aside. Good follow-up by Lapista, playing that one in midfield. Moz just couldn't quite get there in time, and then will be played to the corner. As
we do see the clear across the middle right now, Zenix tries to create some space, but Link Mannix is the one who holds down the middle of the field. Now from behind, Lapista just puts one forward for Link Mannix. The delicate touch turns into a pass, but there was nowhere else to go from there. Ultras just will dribble it all the way back up to the other side of the pitch and then look for the shot. I don't understand how one player was given that much space. I need to see a bit more proactivity coming from the SMCC side.
Yeah, and will they have enough time to do that in this game or to figure out they have to? But what a shot from Ultras. The ball placed nice and high, but it is not out of reach if Ultras is on the field. Even bumped by Fruity to put that one away. They get the OT, they get the game 1 win, and they get the momentum in their way.
Yeah, a crazy game number 1, though, when it's all said and done. It's going to be feeling like one of these back and forth series, and I hope people are getting settled in, because with the aggressive nature at times from realistically each of these two teams, it feels like we're going to have to continue to see sort of goals scored from these unique angles, from these more dynamic attacks. So we saw Mazuwu trying again and again to get those last second redirects. We're seeing Ultras put the ball in from very, very tight and very, very unusual angles. Both these defenses need to stay on their toes because these shots are just being rapid fired from everywhere.
Exactly right. And it's so good to see that with a higher and higher you get level, it's less about putting a shot on target. You've got to start looking for top corners. You've got to start looking for demo plays, some creative ways, as we saw from Lapista, a really nice play, going slow, catching it, trying to edge ball almost its way into the midfield for the pass. It's so interesting just to see like the level that these players now need to compete at. A normal goal just isn't going to cut anymore. You need to get creative. You need to try and outpace as much as possible as we get into game number 2 here. They've just come off an OT win. Can they look to convert this, or will SMC come out on top?
Well, we're seeing our first double commit actually coming from the SMCC side as they try to get a pinch into the net. Ball does make its way to the backboard where Fruity goes for that late flick. Ball making its way across that middle of the field, but no one able to maintain possession, at least not until Mazuwu gets it again up into that corner. More passive play from Hawker to start off this second game, but that's okay. They are maintaining possession, and now it's going to be that fast counterattack. Late pass somehow got intercepted. Mazuwu came up huge right there.
Yeah, Moz just getting on the end of that ball there, but a really nice up play onto the backboard, but Fruity will be there to clear it. Link's just not choosing to push upfield, and it might be the end of them as they looked to get that one on target. Fruity going for the double touch, couldn't quite get that spacing from the ball needed. Moz trying for the early touch, will be off, and shot after shot on both nets here, but no one just able to get that final touch.
Yeah, no one's been able to keep it just accurate enough either, although that's a risky play. Fruity in the middle of the field gets gifted one. 1-0 lead to Hawker.
That is a nice double touch from Ultras, and Lapista just couldn't quite get the read to play that one back into the corner. Fruity there to punish that play. They will get the first goal just over a minute down in this game, and that might be what they need to just continue their run. As I'm really liking SMC's pressure, I like their rotations, but it just seems to be those final touches, the one unforced error, it's just coming out and causing Hawker to really get the lead in.
The thing that there's always one, Tins. There's always one. It took us a while to get there, but yeah, always gonna be one. And I think the less said about this goal, the better.
Yeah, I think that's just one that we go next. It's somehow a 2-goal lead. I'm not too sure. Somehow we're going to be going on next. But that's got to be detrimental to, I feel like Lapista, that's 2 kind of errors that they've made that has led to goals. And it might start playing in your own head. You might start becoming a little bit more defensive. I really like the play style that Lepista has been playing. Hopefully, they don't get too far in their own head with those previous plays and just look to move past it, go next, and then look to start to be the player that we've seen before in previous series.
I mean, if you're Lepista, you're saying, hey, you know what? I might not have hit the ball, but at least I didn't hit the ball in the net. That's all I'd be saying, you know? Yeah, that was an interesting play, but it kind of emphasizes a point I was going to make, and I still stand by this one. Outside of what we just saw right there, it isn't like SMCC is making an egregious amount of unforced errors. As, whoa, Lepista! That's the kind of play we wanted to see. Great execution on the aggressive challenge 1-2 game.
Yeah, very nice play there. Just being in the right position. Xenix has found himself in a very awkward position, not being able to clear that to a side rather than back to the middle. And that has been a few times we've seen that from Hawker, where a few missed touches end up going in the midfield rather than to a corner where you're really wanting to clear the ball.
Yeah, that was, you know, one of those little mistakes that we've been seeing each of these teams making as Mazuwu almost equalized the game back up right there. Ball will cross midfield. But it's the little mistakes that are becoming the difference makers in this series, because it's not always, you know, a case of a whiff or an odd double commit. It's coming down to ball placement a lot of the times. You know, up, hit the ball a little too hard, possession loss. Up, hit the ball a little bit too soft, weren't able to find that quick counterattack. And sometimes these are strategic decisions, and those are always the best kinds of Rocket League to see executed.
Yeah, and I always talk about in Rocket League is there's a huge difference between keeping possession and keeping the ball close. Keeping the ball close just means that it's on top of your car, you're trying to force out a touch. It takes that next level of play to be able to keep possession, to be able to hit the ball away from you, knowing you're going to be the next person to keep up that play. And that's something Sweeper does really well in the previous series. It's not always about keeping the ball close. Sweeper works on keeping possession. And you're right, some of those hard hits can be very crucial when you're trying to get a victory. Has a really nice bump play coming out there, but couldn't quite put that away.
No, instead it'll be cleared back up the other way. Whoa, that's dangerous. Ultras 3-1 lead, and Hawker on a bit of a warpath right now to go up 2-0 in this series.
We've talked about it. I'm loving what SMC is doing. They look very clean, but it's that one wrong rotation, the one wrong whiff, the one wrong touch that has just led to practically all 3 goals from Hawker here. They just need to clean up those errors. They need to really try and work on it, because everything else they're doing is looking amazing. They're keeping pressure. They know when to challenge. They know when not to. It's just that one thing that they do wrong, which is a huge mistake.
Well, that said, though, as long as they keep challenging and pressing forward, they'll find more opportunities like this, as Mazuwu just gets a nice little, I wanted to say dunk, but just straight up on a 50 instead. Great shot, great goal, back within 1.
Yeah, pure speed coming out from Mozzie there as they look to try and tie up this game. One more needed as kickoff will be a heavy win here. Opportunity, Pistol will be there to follow, but a double commit clears. Boost is stolen here, so Ultras won't be able to follow too much, but gets a big clear downfield to buy their team time to get those resources, get back on the aggressive end. But time and time again, we're seeing players stacked on top of each other here from Awkward. It might be an opportunity. Lepista playing this one high. Ultras going for the squishy save, but can't quite. Links putting that one away with power into the net.
I mean, there was an attempt at a squishy. In fact, there was 2 attempts at a squishy when we see that from the second angle. Both of those just felt like a hope and a prayer. Link given too much space, too much prowess to put the ball wherever they wanted to, and it turns into an easy-looking tie ball game.
Yeah, that's, you know, sometimes if it doesn't work once, maybe you try it twice. Not in that case here, but this is what they needed. They needed to tie up the game. They need to get the momentum start going in their favor. They need to know it's possible to get a few goals on the net, but passes like that in the midfield might not do so. Fruity just couldn't put that one into the top corner. Lepista now looking for the clear. Good 50. Ultras will win that one, but Lepista playing that one close. Not close enough, though, as Ultras looking to beat out. 1 defender beats out 2 defender. It is high, but Link Maniacs couldn't quite get the read. Fruity up, Fruity into the midfield. Pass, Xenix is there. Good save by Monster. Just get in the way, and they keep themselves out of danger with that attempt.
Well, they're not out of the woods yet. Shot saved by Lepista. Camera going crazy right there. No one can keep up with the tempo, it seems like. However, we do finally go cross pitch and a chance for Link Mannix, who isn't able to find the goal. We had an overtime in game 1. Why not an overtime in game number 2 as well? 8 seconds to end this in regulation. Sees Lepista clearing it across midfield. Swing and a miss from Ultras. Open door for SMCC. The pass is going to be in the box, but everyone overextends. Off off the sidewall. Zenix can't get to it, and we go to overtime.
What a hectic few seconds there for both sides, it seems, is looking to just trying to survive their way to OT, and they do manage to do it. Early shot coming out from the pistol, though, will be played into the corner. Fruity there for the follow-up, beating up on defender. All players are out. Zenix just trying to get this one on target, actually fakes out the pistol, but just they are able to get the clear. Couldn't quite get the speed needed to put that one away, and it will be sent into the Moz's possession as they look for that infield pass play. Goes off the ceiling onto the shot. An awkward read by Fruity, but no one's there to follow up. Shot after shot coming out in this series, but no one can find the back of the net.
Yeah, it's going to be tight again. Ultras nearly own goaling it. The follow-up shot's the dangerous one, and Link's Maniacs is able to take a game back for SMCC. Tied series 1-1.
I'm glad someone could finally put one into there because we need to reset. That was a way too intense few 30 seconds to a minute. I think everyone in the lobby needs to take a breath, reset, regather themselves, but a great win there for SMC to tie up the series. They are looking to go the distance. You don't want to get in that reverse sweep situation unless you're CCP. You know, you take the advantage and you get the reverse sweep, but it's really good to see that we're at a stalemate here. Both teams are really good in their own right, taking the fight to each other. It all just matters in who can hold on longer, who can maintain. I think consistency is the biggest word in this series, the consistency to move on and get the wins needed.
Yeah, absolutely, and maybe we'll see it here once again. A team actually seemed to get control of this series as... Okay, looks like we're going to be getting a reset right now. A bit unfortunate right there, but yeah, we will be sorting this one out. Always the high school. High school lobbies are, I think, less stable than any other sort of group lobbies.
Yeah, I will give credit there. Rocket League does have a little bit of a glitch where sometimes players will get forced kicked from lobbies and have to rejoin. Obviously, if they can't rejoin in time, it's unfortunate. So we will give credit to the teams there. I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Rocket League won.
I'm not blaming the students. I'm blaming the servers. Just high school servers.
The best Rocket League.
High school servers don't work. High school servers are bugged. That's
look, it's definitely an issue coming in. I think it's just the curse of the high school leagues. Has happened a few times, but hopefully we can get that reset. Even the players, as I said, take that much needed breath after that hectic minute of the last game.
That's all it was. We just broke it. We just broke that last server with too much action too quickly. I don't know if the camera was freaking out for you at one stage as it was for me, but it looked like the camera went into the ball and we got like first-person view of what it's like to get battered around. Either way, we are back onto the pitch. We are kicking off our game number 3, a chance to move to match point and possibly get yourself in that great position to be in the grand final. It's Mazuwu who gets that first follow-up touch, shot, target, and no! Fruity almost puts it in the own top right bin, able to save it for now. Link Maniacs keeping the rusher moving forward. Eventually, Ultras clears it back across midfield.
Yeah, this will be a crucial win for both teams here who haven't come out in top and already coming out with a few shots on target, but Ultra is doing really good on the defensive end to get those goal line saves. And it's, as I just keep saying it, but Hawker just seems to always be looking for the goal line saves. Whether that means they're not challenging in the midfield enough or kind of letting the other team kind of run rampant in their own half, I'm not too sure, but can they kind of relieve some pressure for themselves as Moz trying to go for a solo play, but it will be cleared aside by Hawker.
Yeah, I feel as if the reason why they're playing so far back is they really are banking on a couple more of those unforced errors to come from the SMCC side, and they'll be looking to capitalize with the fast upfield play. The issue is, though, by not challenging a little bit further up the field, it's decreasing the chances of that unforced error. They're essentially hoping for a mistake based on merit alone from the SMCC side, and they have proven to be a consistent enough team to realistically not allow that to happen. I mean, yeah, you know, there was a couple flubs that last game, yes, but they also still wound up winning that game. So if I'm Hawker, I really feel like they need to do a more proactive job in taking the fight to the blue side.
Yeah, if you can make those kind of unforced errors and then still get the win, it's got to be very concerning for the side of Hawker, because if they stop making those errors, if they start really converting, like I believe the SMC we saw in that first series and even the first 2 games last series, that is going to be very dangerous as Ultra is just hanging around in the play enough to put that one away. No one seemed to be found on defense. Yeah,
I mean, we can watch again. That's why Link Maddox cleaning a path open for Ultras to knock it through. That's very polite of SMCC right there to kind of give their opponents a little bit of a helping hand, but at the end of the day, maybe not what you want to do in a tight situation like this.
Yeah, I really think the ability is Link Maniacs just off kickoff, finding themselves in an open net, pushing that one just with power through the midfield. And Fruity just deciding to go for goal, not really maintaining that ball cam to know where the play's unfolding.
Yeah, very fast response, and that does tie the game up. So I guess, you know, a mistake each side to tie the game. It's all well and good at the end of it all. And Ultras off the kickoff finds another one. Tins, what is going on in this game?
Taking in turns, I guess. You know, you get a goal, we get a goal, you get a goal. Now it's our turn. So if history serves, SMC should be scoring a kickoff goal here if both teams are being polite enough. But I'm not too sure. I think it's just really understanding what's supposed to happen on kickoff in terms of what team's cheating or what team, you know, if player is going for boost, because you can't get a goal like that and then get immediately turned around for a kickoff goal.
I mean, you're saying we can't, but we've seen it happen a couple times now. So La Pista has a chance. This time, though, two defenders able to cross up the attack and actually send it back the other way. Net looks open. La Pista was able to rotate back, though, to make that save. And from the top, we are seeing a bit of distance cleared by Moza Wu. Goes for the pinch on the wall, but isn't able to put it on a target. Halfway through game number 3. It's a 2-1 lead for Hawker, but it feels like momentum is back at SMCC's side.
Yeah, as they're looking to clear this one out, and Zenix just absolutely getting booted after getting that touch, but does beat out the defender. Link Maniacs looking to keep this one in harm's way, but Zenix just trying to fake out a clear there. Pressure coming on top of Hawker here. a clear there between both defenders. Zenix caught right place, right time. But Moz will look to clean this one up. Gets it past two defenders. Fruity there to play this one into the corner. But La Pista there with good infield challenge. And one thing I'm noticing from the side of SMC is it seems like they're too afraid to stop moving. They can't sit back post. They can't sit in a position to try and, you know, put themselves in a good position. Instead, just having to constantly move around the pitch, which I feel like is the reason why they're caught cheating too far out of net or too far upfield or even double committing.
Yeah, and it's been this reoccurring problem that has been keeping, you know, the other side quite involved in this game through a lot of it. But it's not necessarily an easy adjustment to sort of snap yourself out of. If that's your style in these types of situations, yes, in the best of 5, you should be looking to sort of make these micro adjustments. However, in situations like this where you know that pressure is mounting, so often than not, you start relying on instinct, I feel, more so than anything else. And yes, this has been leading to some mistakes at times. I still don't mind teams playing to their perceived strengths.
Exactly. SMC, they've played this play style the entire time. It's a really good infield pass from the pist over to Moz, but a good early challenge by Fruity. Ultra is looking to follow that up. Couldn't quite. And it is true. They know their strengths. Their strengths has worked for them so far, and it's gotten to this point. Why not continue it with a good second challenge there from La Pista to put that one away?
Under a minute left, tie ball game, Tins. We've already seen 2 overtimes. We could be looking at a third. We're in one of those awkward situations right now where the next goal most likely is going to take this game, regulation or overtime. And considering that's going to move one of these sides to match point, it's going to be a very important goal indeed. That's why Fruity's taking shots as Hawker gets a massive late game advantage.
They just couldn't jump. They had the save. Moz even had the boost, just found themselves in an awkward position. Got hit with the side flip curse, the back flip curse.
Feels backflip, bro.
Everyone's done it. It's an unfortunate error, but yet again, we're talking when Hawker gets on the scoring end, it's off of an unforced error like from the side.
Oh my goodness, that was an absolute missile. Post not in. Second shot though is very much in. And remember what I said just 20 seconds ago about how next goal probably ends this one? I want to re-emphasize that point now. The next goal is probably now going to win this match as SMCC responds to the late Hawker lead.
Winner of this will get that match point game here, and that's what you want, especially in a best of 5. You want the challenge there as Xanax looking to play this one downfield. The pistol will just play it to the side, try and buy some time, beats out one defender. Ultras will get a boost still here, so now's the time to get that quick counter-attack. The Fruity themselves finds low on boost, looking for that one goal to try and end it in regulation rather than force that OT. As one thing I've noticed is that anyone, well, we've seen from the first 2 games, anyone can really take the OT.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this entire series so far has been so back and forth. Link Mannix, though, trying to end this one in regulation, looking to set up the team. Someone underneath. Mozu gets it to the backboard, but no one can find themselves underneath the ball. Game 3 overtime, our third of the series. And, of course, it's a 3-3 scoreline as well. Who is going to take us to that match point? Link Mannix almost gets it straight off that kickoff.
That's it. I'm calling it. The goal's going to be scored at 3 minutes and 33 seconds. That's what's going to happen in this series. But these players have to be careful because you're forcing such a long series. They still have one more series after this. The winner still has to play that one more series. You don't want to burn yourself out and forcing so many overtimes and a possible game 5. You're going to be tired before you get to that final game.
Yeah, well, we are marching our way there for sure at the moment because, yeah, with each of these overtimes, that is more focus. That is more energy just being expended in these high-stress situations. And this is high-stress right now. I mean, both these teams, I don't think were ever challenged quite like they were this season. We talked before about how Hawker never really were, you know, put up to a tough showing. The same thing could have been said about SMCC until today. They had been going undefeated in every single game they've played. Now they are fighting for their life in this loser bracket final. Lapista, though, tries to rise to the occasion. Double commit on defense. Finds the save. Link Mannix, slow push back towards that defensive side. Fruity perhaps goes a bit too hard as Ultros watch it sails overhead to Lapista. Through the corner, an opportunity for Mazu Wu. Will try to read Fruity. I imagine we'll see a commit. No. Instead, respect given to the Dominus player.
Yeah, Dominus Andrew was going to be very careful for. You get the power needed, and that's a very good use of time, use of possession to try and clear that ball as Ultra is now in the midfield. Gives away possession over to Link Maniacs, who looks for the double. Does get it. Zenix is in awkward position. Might beat out Fruity in the midfield, but can't quite. Fruity getting back for the 50. Does get beat out yet again. Lapista looking to keep this one alive. Can't quite as a good clear downfield. But the pressure, here we go. This is what we know. The quick infield turns from SMC is starting to amount. Play after play, going for the ball. This might find its way, but a good touch from Fruity will buy them some more time.
Yeah, it will buy them a hint of time, but not a whole lot. I see a pinch go back across the box. No one able to follow it up straight away. Again, ball falling into the center of the field. Link Mannix gets there first, but Fruity has a nice read and is able to keep the offensive motion flowing for this Hawkers side. In fact, they're looking for a backward setup. They look for a double commit on the shot, but it's Fruity who puts it accurately in, and Hawker goes to a 2-1 lead at the conclusion of game number 3.
Shot after shot. They caught awkward, and then both players cheating out of net. The communication just not quite there on whose ball it was, and Fruity isn't going to miss that one. They put it away. They get their 2-1 lead. They are on match point here to fight their way back into the rematch of versus CCP. SMC, they need to find out what they need to do to move forward. They need to really try and pick up their errors. And if they want to take it to this Hawker team and try and reverse sweep in this near best of 3 series.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. I mean, 2-1 lead now for Hawker. We've seen 3 overtimes. Do we just skip the 5 minutes of regulation and just go straight to go and goal?
I reckon I'll put the match settings up. I'll put the mutator on. I'll just go and goal whoever wins, because I think regardless, we're going to find ourselves in that OT again. If this goes to game 5, all 5 games being OT, I think CCP are going to win based off the winning team needing to take a nap. I think we might have to take a half-an-hour rest period. We might have to have a quick nap to get back to this, because if I was Hawker and SMC, the communication that's needed, the energy, the hype that you need to get through a series like this and a playoff run like this, I'm surprised we haven't seen any players taking a nap mid-game.
And you have to remember, too, for Hawker, I believe specifically, they have played in every single round so far of this event today. Because, yes, they won their first game, so they went to winners round 2. But if you lose in winners round 2, then you go back to losers round 1. So they have not stopped playing, in theory, at all. And they're going the distance potentially right now. I think they would love to just get this win and avoid game 5. Every sort of match they can avoid is another victory for them, as Ultras off this kickoff tried to beat Lapista, had Fruity behind, but isn't able to connect on the pass.
Yeah, they're really looking to just try and take this win, but a good pass play between Link and Mozzie on target, just off. Zenix is there to get the save, but it's still not out of arm's way yet. That's a good challenge by Lapista, and that's what they're really good at. They're sending their first player at the ball. They're not trying to give time to the Hawker team, and they're doing it really well. They've just really got to focus on playing consistently here, I think, is SMC's biggest worry. A
Oh!
good shot coming out, almost crossbar down, but just off. Mozzie there for the follow. Can't, and Fruity will get the clear, but a good turn in midfield from Lynx will keep possession as they look to keep Hawker awkward on defense.
Yeah, that said, Fruity with that later touch actually does a good job in clearing it back up the other way off the backboard. Double commit, and a very unnecessary one. That opens the door across the middle, but Zenit can't quite keep it safe, and eventually Mazuwu will clear back to the other side. I think each team really feeling that pressure because we're seeing more double commits, we're seeing more awkward touches and unforced errors. This is very much pressure and fatigue getting to these players, and as crazy as it sounds, I go back to that instinct point I was trying to make. And this is, you know, that sort of X factor that I feel every athlete has in traditional sports and in esports. It's what separates the good from the greats. Who is going to rise up right about now because you have a chance to really make something special happen.
Yeah, it's moments like this where stars and legends are born, because it's a great idea to play on this pressure. Lepista putting that one away. We talk about pressure, and Lepista putting that one on target in a great position, beating out 2 defenders, almost 3, to put that one away.
And I'm not surprised to see Lepista stepping up first, just from that play style alone. Always aggressive, looking for those deep challenges when on the attacking half. And it's applying even more of that P word back over to the opponents as well with each one of these challenges. Lepista has not changed their approach whatsoever despite the circumstance, and that is a fantastic thing to do. If you can remain consistent like you were talking about before, good things can happen, and that consistency right now favoring the SMCC side.
Exactly right. The composure to just, we know what we're doing. This has worked all season long. Why stop now? Why change up? Why try and ruin a good thing that they have going? And it's working out really well. Already getting that 1-goal lead. They need this to force that game 5 as Ultras with really good early challenge, but Moz with the dunk will maintain possession here, trying to beat out Zenix. Can't quite, and Link actually getting bumped there, so won't be able to go up. Zenix will play a pressure into the corner, and Ultra is actually awkward touch there, but ends up almost being a pass for Fruity, but I don't even think Fruity can read that one.
Oh, that's it. Ultras can certainly read that one. That's going to be a goal. And as we approach just past the halfway point of game number 4, it is once again tied after a very cheeky little play.
Yeah, good on Ultras to really maintain in that play, be active, ready for anything that really kind of crumbed out of that play there, and really good pickup to put that one on target too. SMC just cheating a little bit too far of net, which they have been known to do time and time again. Now Fruity up for this one, looking to try and get a read into midfield, but Link will be first one up to try and get the clear.
Yeah, as we see La Pista actually now playing it further up as well. Ultra steals it away. Now Fruity actually winds up a bit low. Link, open net, and just enough power to help La Pista get it in. That's right, goal stolen. I don't care if you're going to say it was needed to secure it. It's still a 2-1 lead, and SMCC are not in a position to complain.
Yeah, and we've seen this problem a lot. I think Zenix having ball cam off there, not being aware of the play, deciding to go for that back boost, not realizing that the net was left wide open there. We've seen that a few times, and it looks like SMC really taking that into account and, you know, punishing that play for it. Moz was also going for the boost steal. Moz was trying to be active, go for the demo as well. Now Moz getting the fake as well, putting that one past Fruity, and they will get their 3rd goal here, coming out scoring.
Well, it's not looking like an overtime situation, but it is looking like a game 5-er potentially right now. 2 quick goals, putting a massive 2-goal lead. I think it's the first 2-goal lead we've seen since game number 2, which Hawker was the team with the advantage, but then SMCC came back to win, so perhaps it's now time for Hawker to make the comeback. They already get one off the kickoff just like that.
Not really a caster curse, more like a caster gift, but you're right, they're making that comeback. They've already got that 1st goal, and it is very doable. I think no real scoreline is out of reach for either of these teams. Hawker definitely know what they need to do. They've still got 2 minutes to go to get that 1 goal. Can they do it? Or will we find that game at number 5 here? But look, at the end of the day, we haven't had an OT this game. So look, there's 1 goal. There hasn't been an OT. The way that the history shows, I think we might have a game 4 OT here.
Oh my goodness. Well, first we got to see Hawker at least find one more shot, and Lepista trying to challenge that. 3rd defender in front of the midfield line does just enough to stop the breakaway, although Mazuwu loses possession. 2 defenders swing and miss, and now Lepista tries to punish Ultras. Able to fall back and make that 1st touch, finds the 2nd as well. Mazuwu, though, can place this wherever they want, tries to cross up the field, and, well, follow it up. And now with the corner play, no one quite there. Link Mannix does enough to beat Fruity in a 50. And if Hawker's going to tie it up right now, they're going to have to do so winning a tough challenge because SMCC is going for everything.
Yeah, they're really trying to just apply that pressure, not give Hawker any time on the ball to do anything that they want, and it's working out so far.
Oh.
The pass in the midfield might be dangerous. They do manage to get the clear. Their Ultras couldn't get the follow. And now they're on the breakaway. I don't think anyone's going to be there. Moz will get credit for that one, but all from Hawker there, caught cheating up. I know it's the final moments of a game, but you can't afford to triple commit.
Yeah, it was a risky play, and it doesn't pay off. And with that 2-goal lead, 44 seconds remaining, I'm getting myself nice and comfy right now, Tins, because Game 5 is looking more and more like an inevitability.
Yeah, and it's not looking to go in anyone's favor. We've seen just every game kind of be a different team has the advantages. A long bomb there on net. La Pista will just put an icing on the cake there to get that one. Get 3-goal lead here. They've secured this victory, unless kickoffs do not go in their favor. But yeah, a very good win possibly here for the side of SMC if they can hold this one out. They're looking to go to Game 5. Can they bring this momentum, or are we just going to see a completely reset like we have in the previous games, and it's really going to be anyone's?
Yeah, I'm very curious to see for sure. I mean, we are going to be getting that Game 5 now. The kickoff didn't really quite go the way that Hawker was looking for, and I still feel like if we're going to take the overall sort of vibe of this game, it hasn't changed that much. I feel like SMCC has consistently been, I think, a more proactive and a stronger playing team in terms of positioning and fundamentals, but on occasion, the unforced errors have come back to bite them. This game in particular, though, this Game 4, this was the most consistent we've seen them play. So we talk about rising up to the pressure of the situation. SMCC does that in spades to get this Game 4 victory. And if you were to ask me an opinion who I think is going to carry it over to this Game 5, I know I said Hawker at the start of the series. I'm now flipping. I'm thinking SMCC, they've gotten their vibe back. They've got that confidence. It doubled the amount of shots taken by Hawker in that game. I think this is the match that SMCC takes to set up themselves at a chance of revenge in our grand final.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because I was about to bring it up. The fact that we both made predictions here. It is Game 5. I was hoping you would kind of stay with Hawker. That way we can have a caster v caster type setup here. But it is true. SMC, their main problem and the reason I really think that they lost those 2 matches were off their own errors. And if they can look to just play that consistent role, look to play the aggressive play style without those just unfortunate touches, unfortunate backflips and pushing too far out of net, then this is their series to lose. I think they have what it takes. Hawker College just need to start looking to score off their own merit, look for those infield pass plays that they were doing really well, looking for those team plays, Ultras going for those solo plays. If they want to look to take this series, they really have only been scoring off the errors of SMC. And as well as it is a good way to go about it, if that team stop making errors, then you're going to stop getting those goals on the board.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what we saw happening in that 4th game. I also want to quickly go back and revisit game number 2, which was the game that SMCC had that crazy comeback. I think that was realistically the most telling sign of things to come in terms of how well teams can handle pressure, because normally after that own goal and after sort of the pressure that we saw Hawker like consistently put on SMCC, lesser teams do break, but SMCC rose above it, took the game to an overtime, and then wound up coming out on top in that one. Game number 4 was a lot more heavily in their favor at the end of it all, but you have to remember most of that game was tight, and they had a little bit of a comeback there as well. I really feel like SMCC is a strong team to sort of bet on when the chips are down, and as long as they can maintain being more clutch and more consistent, the higher the pressure actually gets, the more and more likely they're going to take this series.
And they've been in this situation before. They've just come off getting reverse sweep. And not only that, the grand finals of last season, I believe, was a reverse sweep or close to one in this favor of the SMC first team. So they've been in this situation before. They know the pressure that can amount in this kind of environment, and they've handled it really well so far. Can they look to channel that more, or will we see more unforced errors as we look to get into game number 5 here? Zenix up nice and early, putting that one on target, but the pistol is there for the good clear. Mozzie looking for the follow-up to put that one on target as well. Shot after shot from both teams, but really good defense.
Yeah, we've been seeing consistent defense as each team has been playing for the most part further back. Now we're seeing commits coming from the SMCC side, double commits, in fact, but it's a triple commit on the defense. That could open up the center of the goal. La Pista can't quite get there for the strike.
I don't know if Mozzie knew that Lapista was there, but that being said, there were a few pre-jumping. So maybe Mozzie doing a really good thing of just playing it to the side, making to keep possession rather than forcing out a 50. But now it's led to an open net. The constant turns in midfield do work out for them, and Moz puts one on the board.
I don't even think those are midfield turns. They kind of look like upper third turns, to be quite honest, Tins. I mean, like, yeah, they are just attacking relentlessly, and this is a new look from SMCC, to be quite frank. In the past, they had been making those turns to midfield or just behind it, but an increase of aggression, a new look, in a high-pressure Game 5 situation. The confidence is there for SMCC. They know they have been performing more consistently, and now they're acting upon it. A great early adjustment that gives them an early lead.
Yeah, and it's just knowing when to do that. I think they really started boost starving as well. They're looking for those corner boosts, which we've seen, I think, in game number 1. And it's really applying huge amounts of pressure to Hawker. And once they know they've got that boost possession, that's when the goal square turns are really good to apply that pressure. Ultra is now looking for it, doesn't have the boost to get back to it, but will force out a defender. And Moz does a really good job playing that one to the corner. Fruity now looking for the infield pass, beats out one defender. Link Maniacs pushing a little bit too far out of net there, as their teammate was also pushed far out in the corner.
Yeah, and despite these pushes, though, not a lot's getting through. Bump play almost opens up the door. Fruity can't quite put it in. Play through the corner, though, will be read by Mazuwu, and that should be enough to get it close to the midfield, but it's a little bit of a taste of SMCC's own medicine right now. We are seeing those upper third or midfield turns, but the point is it's aggressive and fast turns being used by the Hawker side. They're using all of their boost, though, to keep the momentum going. A demo in the box opens the door, and this time Fruity gets it through. Tie ball game just past the halfway point of Game 5.
We've seen one before from Ultras, and we're seeing one here again, noticing that there's an open net when you're already pushed far upfield. So why not, instead of looking for an upfield redirect, just take out the only remaining defender, put that one in. Ultras with the heads-up IQ play, and now a big kickoff win here. Ultras trying to flick out one defender, but Lapista will be there to clear it. Forces double commit, though, so Zenix will look to apply pressure. Couldn't quite get the sidewall read. Moz going long off the backboard. Both players actually caught in an awkward position, but Ultras, good front post rotation there to be able to get the clear.
As we see a play across that middle of the field, a chance for Zenix perhaps to follow it up. Doesn't read Lapista, who puts it towards the goal. Fruity has to back corner it this time around. As I'm kind of curious what is going on in terms of play things happening off screen. Sorry, getting myself a bit distracted. Shots happening on target. Ultra is able to save it through. Lapista, another shooting opportunity, has Mazuwu, but they're unable to keep it low enough, and now a counterattack opportunity. Lapista needs to race back, has to play a bit of shadow defense. Zenix slowing it down. They got the demo, they got the shot, and Ultras takes a late game lead.
What a counterattack there, just applying that pressure, getting the demo, and that seems to be what they've worked out. When you're upfield, instead of going for redirects, start going for those touches. Amazing heads-up play here from the sides, as we have had a few technical difficulties here. I'm not too sure, but we might have to do a reset. Some players have somehow managed to join the lobby, so I think we might have to get a reset. Might do a technical break while we get this sorted.
Yep, that's going to be a restart. And I mean, yeah, I have some strongly worded opinions that I think is best left for myself. Okay, we're going to be cutting right off that. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the delay. Just like sometimes in traditional sports, sometimes unwanted entities enter the field, apparently. Never have had a streaker before on an esports arena, yet here we are as it looks like we are going to be, I believe, resetting the scoreline to where it was before. It was a 2-1 lead in favor of Hawker, and I believe the teams have agreed to sort of reset the scoreline as it was. Tins, the question I have to ask, though, do they keep playing from once that scoreline becomes 2-1, or do we wait until a minute and a half?
So I believe what we're doing is, it was a minute 37 was when one of the players did join. So I believe we're going to tie up the game. We'll be waiting till 137, where Hawker will be scoring. Hence the 2-1 score line that we had before. We had the streakers on the pitch, and then we'll be playing from a kickoff at 137. So we will be waiting a little, but we can kind of just talk about how this kind of series is unwind, because with Game 5, the amount of overtimes and everything we've seen, it's almost heartbreaking to see like this kind of thing happen, especially when these players are competing their heart out. They're competing for that grand final experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never actually seen a situation like that before, and I mean, while there can be speculation, was that an intentional sort of invasion, or was it perhaps a glitch in sort of the private lobby system, which has been sort of a situation that has happened before? I really do hope it was the latter in positions like that, because one of the things that we try to pride ourselves in, I suppose, in like all esports, run at AEL, collegiate, or high school, being able just to show that sportsmanship in both victory and defeat, and, maintaining as much competitive integrity as possible. It would be really disappointing to figure out if that was something that was intentionally done.
Exactly right. I do want to point out that I've had it happen to myself, where I've been in a private match with my friends, and Rocket League has forced players cross-region to join into a closed private match. So I know that it can happen in a Rocket League situation, or could be on the Psionic servers, just a bit of a mishaps. I'm with you. I'm really hoping that is the case. I'm really hoping that is what's happened. It's just a pure accident, and to not find out that it is a kind of in-house thing that's happened, that players have decided to join and really ruin the experience. So that being said, the players are being very good sports about it. They will be waiting. As you can see, they're all having fun. They're all partying while we wait for the 1 minute 37 timeline. They're all good sports about it.
I have to admit, La Pista, there we go. Ultra is able to get up on top right now. How high a tower can we build? Can we build a 3 or 4 car tower? I am really curious right now. Can we make the 6-car pyramid? I'm very curious. Here we go. Oh, Xenix, no!
It can be done. I know that it's hard to do with a certain car. People did try and do it in the Merc. And I have seen this. I think the record for the Merc is 8 stacked up on top of each other. It took them hours, but they were finally able to do it. So, hey, maybe it's time to try and break some records on the AEL stream.
Why not? Let's go for it right now as we see. No. Link Mannix not quite happy with that touch, perhaps right there. We do only have a minute to pull something like this off right now. We've got a Rule 1, we've got a little pyramid being built, and we have Link Mannix just sort of driving around, looking to get involved somehow. Pick a tower, Link. You're spoiled for choice right now.
And if no one's had this happen, I think everyone's happened. Whether this is a casual game or a ranked game, I think everyone's had the experience. Wait,
we've got it. Oh, Fruity, no!
We almost had a 5-long tower. That is insane to think. Because I don't know if you've ever tried to do that, but it is near impossible.
It is difficult. I was impressed with how quickly Fruity got on top, though. Like, that was a clean entry. I would think you'd put the Dominus at the bottom, though.
Yeah, I think the Dominus would be like a strong, sturdy base, especially with the... But we're winding down time now.
We got to start this one up. You can see Ultras going to go ahead and make sure it gets as close to that 137 time as possible. Perfectly executed. Well done. 2-1 game. Here we go. Back into the action now. We talk about rising to the pressure. SMCC. They've got just over a minute and a half to get themselves that equalizing goal.
Yeah, and this is a huge thing because not only it's a kickoff start, and as you can see, it's actually heavy wind. Moz is going to score. And that's the problem, is we had to do a kickoff to begin this, and that is a huge win from Link.
That is huge indeed. Mazu Wu from underneath able to put that one through. And you know what? I kind of wouldn't have it any other way in this situation. A minute and a half, a chance for that grand final push. You got to be tied till that last minute, Tins. Do I even dare mention overtime right now? Mazu Wu doesn't want me to, but the defense is going to keep it safe at least for now.
I think these players are dreading another OT, especially with how long it could be. Fruity's been getting very physical with the play lately, and it's been working out to their favor. Ultra is up, but a good save from Link Mannix to put that one away. But Fruity just going to keep the momentum here, keep playing upfield, looking for these demos. The physical playstyle has been working in this game so far as a shot on net. Zenix now playing aside.
Yeah, Link Mannix, though, still finding the center, but it's going to be an easy read for the defense to intercept. As we do see La Pista's now start to push it back up that other way. And you know La Pista's going to go for that deep challenge. This time misses out, but Ultras can't get it over Mazu Wu. Now through the corner, Zenix plays through the backboard. A challenge won by Fruity, crosses up the field where La Pista is waiting. And again, putting one up for grabs. Mazu Wu underneath, shot, target saved by Zenix. Fruity follows through with the clear.
And they're looking to follow this one up. Ultra is going long. Fruity is an upfield option here, as can't quite get the angle. There is no boost needed. Ultra is now going for the double. Good clear side by Moz. Pressure is really amounting for both teams. We're seeing some really nice plays arise here as Zenix with a good midfield challenge. Fruity going to try and maintain possession here, but good shot by La Pista to clear that one downfield. Gets demoed for their troubles, and it's just back and forth action here. 7 seconds. We might have a game 5 OT, which I believe is only right in this situation. Lee Trumpet on target. Ultras with a really nice clear over to the side. Almost got there in time to put it back, but we do have game 5 OT.
Game 5 OT to determine who is going to the grand final. Season 1 versus Season 2 champ. And it's La Pista who strikes first, getting that ball towards the backboard. Now Ultras is going to need to keep this one up high, but out of boost, loses possession to Mazu Wu, who goes for a late flick. Fruity, aggressive, gets it over the top. Ultras follows it up, and that's going to be Hawker taking it 17 seconds into game number 5.
They get the win to find themselves in the grand final, and I think that is almost justified justice there, as you know, they were up 2-1 when the mishap happened. They managed to get kickoff gold on and then brought it back in OT for that win. Absolutely amazing from Hawker. Really pushed through to get the win, and they find themselves in the grand final.
Yeah, but what a run Hawker has been on, though. And again, I have to throw back. They have played in every single round now so far today, all the way back. You know, we started 3 hours ago. It's been a long one, Tins, and we've still got one more series left. Our grand final matchup is going to be, you know, CCP taking on Hawker. This is going to be a crazy matchup.
It definitely is, and CCP, they've had some time. Whether that will work not in their favor, they might get a little bit of cold feet at the start of the series, where Hawker really coming off a huge win. They will have the momentum riding high, but can they continue it before they get tired out, before they start feeling the bit of fatigue moving forward?
I don't know. We'll find out when we get to that matchup, but for now, we're going to be throwing into a quick break. Give Hawker a little bit of a chance to rest up, I think, and get ready for it, but when we come back, it will be our grand final, the Season 3 final match. It's a little sad when you say it out loud, but we still have to play it through nonetheless. Our final best of 5 when we return. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's that time we've all been waiting for. Grand final of Season 3, and this has to have been, of the 3 seasons, the closest season we've seen yet. 100%. 2 teams that have made pretty amazing runs in their own right. One team pretty much has been undefeated in every single match. Granted, they have dropped games. Now the other team, Season 1 champs, now back at that grand final appearance in their second season competing, have played in every single game thus far. Today, it is going to be CCPS taking on Hawker. And Tins, as for always, I'm just going to ask a quick prediction before we throw us in.
I think this is on Yuri and it is on G-Roy. They have been playing so well in that previous series and were one of the main reasons they were able to get that win into the grand final. And I think it's all on them. I think if they can really look to play that consistent play style, really look to push up field, and then just give Sweeper the free range of the entire field when they do that, I think they're really going to win this. I think it's going to be a Game 4 win here for CCP.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will be a closer one, but I am kind of with you. I'm kind of done with the Game 5s. We've had a fair few of them. I wouldn't mind to see it. We haven't seen a team just straight up dominate yet tonight, and I feel like we're due. I feel like we're due for some domination, and this might be a bold prediction, but I'm with you on the CCPS. I think this is the series where they sort of stamp their mark on what has been an amazing Season 3 run, and even though, yes, I do rate Hawker quite highly, perhaps this is going to be the time when they fall that little bit short. Perhaps the fatigue finally gets to them. Either way, it's going to be a fun matchup.
Exactly right. It's new Kings of the Hill. It's time for the new champions. It's time for the new reigns. I would love to see, Hawker come in. They dominated Season 1. They took a season off and they came back like, we're still ready to go. They've made the grand final. They have proved, I think, an amazing amount making the run that they did, beating the previous champions. But CCP, they're looking unbeatable. They might have some ups and downs. I think the only way it might go wrong for CCP is Yuri's internet connection. As you see, we're still waiting for them to join the lobby. They have had some issues in the past, but they are looking to really try and push this forward.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think they've got a really good opportunity. Yeah.
Absolutely. So hopefully they will be able to bring it back. And also apologies. Oh my gosh. Apologies for the little bit of a technical delay right there. I killed your camera a couple times. My mistake. But you are back. It's all good. So I was just trying to do some research on the teams, man.
I know it's all about you, okay, Formula. You're the cuter one out of both of us. You want the more screen time. It's understandable, all right? Come on, you don't have to get rid of me though.
You got that fly jacket. That's all I'm going to say for today. Hopefully he will be able, apparently loading the game up as we speak, so we will be able to kick this one off. It's been a long afternoon, and guess what? I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a plug right now, because, yes, this has been a long afternoon. It's been an amazing season, but here at AEL, this isn't even the only Rocket League we have today, because guess what? Later on tonight, and actually just a couple hours now, going to be right back at it. Fetch is going to be joining myself as we're going to be doing 3 more InterVarsity games as well. I mean, just so much Rocket League being played tonight. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, how much work AEL has been putting into to provide these kind of events. Large part to the wonderful sponsors as well, who helps kind of keep this all together, that glue between it all. ViewSonic, Chatime, AEST, Indomie, and Rig. Big thank yous to them for taking part in another wonderful season. Always appreciate your continued support, and if you haven't already, check these brands out. I mean, I feel like I'm due for some Chatime for sure sometime tonight, if nothing else.
Definitely right. I think it's so good. You need that refresher, and I love the Chatime beverage. It's so refreshing, can just kind of uplift you a little bit. It is long. These tournaments are long, and you got to imagine we're sitting here casting, and we're tired. We're getting a little bit run down, and these players, they're the ones playing. They're the ones putting all this effort in, the comms, the communication, everything that they're doing to really take it to this level and take it to the grand finals. And they're still got a best of 5 to play. They've still got maybe even OTs to play. Like the way that these players have played today, I'm really excited because this is the first time, the first year the AEL High School League has been running, and it has been absolutely amazing to be there from the start. See a lot of these teams make returns, improve as individual players, as well as a team. So it's amazing to see just how a team that and the one thing I always say about High School League, a team that you see at the start, a team that you see in week number 1 is completely different to the team you see in week 4 and in finals. They grow so much individually as players, and it's just amazing to kind of see that progression here as casters.
Yeah, it has been amazing for sure. And I mean, even through the tournament tonight, we've seen some adaptations and adjustments, in particular on the CCPS side, where they have started, you know, looking and playing more and more like a team as the series has progressed. Now, this grand final is going to be that ultimate test for them, because if we want to talk about a team that's been playing together for a long time, I mean, look no further than Hawker, the Season 1 champs, who have come back for revenge after missing out on Season 2, Season 3, back with the Fury, been playing all day long. Yuri has joined the match. I think we're about ready, Tins, to kick this grand final off.
I think so, and it's going to be an exciting one. I think both these teams are going to come out firing straight from the gate. They want to get in. They want to get through this best of 7. It is no bracket reset, no game advantage. This is a clean reset here for both teams to really put on display just what they have to offer, take it to the other team, and try and win the $5,600 ViewSonic 75-inch interactive display. And I do want to say, we were talking about this. Nitro did bring up to Sweeper saying, you know, it's not a big deal. It's only a 75-inch interactive display to the winner. And Sweeper responded saying, what's pressure? What are you talking about? There's no pressure here. So I think Sweeper is just as excited to get started.
Oh, but already that excitement can be turning into a small series of dread as the reoccurring computer issues might be striking this CCP side right now. Yuri unable to move as the ball sails overhead. Opening goal in favor of Hawker. That's a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and Xenix
look
just
at
had
the corner.
Good. I just saw that as well. A bump in the corner on Sweeper, and Giroid couldn't quite get back into the play. And all Xenix had to do was just dribble that one over the line. Did get a nice flick to finish it off, but that's not how you want. Yuri is now back in the play, so hopefully that's not too much of a disadvantage already as Yuri does the ball the wrong way. But okay, now we're settled. Now we're good. Now we can get into some Rocket League.
So we talk about how perhaps, you know, the Hawker side might be exhausted. It's been a long time since CCPS has actually been playing games, and you have to question, how warm are they? Are they going to need a game to sort of get back up to speed? Because at that first 45 seconds of play, it does feel like the blue side is almost falling over itself a little bit.
Yeah, and we did see that CCP did take a while. They lost 2 games against SMC in that upper bracket. So maybe they do need that extra time. Maybe they do need, you know, a time for Yuri and Jiro to really warm up, get into those rotations, the good hits that they've been getting and really making an impact. The Sweeper now looking for the double, but Fruity will get it clear. And I think really good from Fruity there, because backboard defense is going to be huge against this team.
Yeah, I do agree for that last part. I mean, backboard defense has been huge, again, throughout this entire tournament, and I think it's going to be a fun way to sort of end out everything on Season 3 to see how these teams are able to control their own backboards. Do we see those proper dish outs to teammates? Do we see the unforced errors that open up doorways for opponents? Do we see cheeky little dunk plays out of the corner that nearly find goals? Hawker, I mean, they're back to their aggressive selves. It looks like they're playing very far forward. They're going for a lot of these challenges. Although what I'm liking back from the CCP defense is they are playing a bit further forward on defense as well. That might expose the backboard, though. Water falling down. No one's there for the shot.
Yeah, everyone just caught out of defense there. 2 players caught in their own corner. A little bit of rotational errors there. Almost had an opportunity, but almost got counter-attacked on. Luckily, they didn't. A double commit here. Ultra is going to go for the demo, which we've seen before, but not enough boost to build the momentum in order to get it. And Sweeper will get it clear downfield. And I do want to start seeing, we saw a lot Ultra is getting those demos, Fruity getting those demos. That is going to be a huge addition to a playstyle when you're versing this team. If you can get those demos on Sweeper, get him out of the play, try and force out Giro and Yuri, you might find yourselves in a very easy series.
Oh, G-Royd, though, is proving that, you know what, you can try to put the game on my shoulders, but I have a good chance to carry it as well. First of all, that touch from Yuri was fantastic. It forced out the double commit. G-Royd able to follow it up. Fruity tried to make the play from behind, couldn't quite do it. And we're halfway through our opening game, tie ball game, and guess what? That goal had nothing to do with Sweeper.
Yeah, and I was just about to make the point as well. The last 4 goals, if we count the last 4 goals that have been played for CCP, Sweeper has not scored or I believe assisted on any of them. It has all been Giroid and Yuri playing so well together upfield, really putting the game on their shoulders, and they're doing such a good job at that. Can they continue this almost sweeperless run? Yeah, they're doing such a good job of just playing with each other, keeping up their momentum, as we see yet again Giroid coming on. Yuri gonna be backing out there. Sweeper
Good
getting
ball.
demoed by Fruity, sorry. And now they're looking to send it the other way, but won't quite be able to put that one on target.
Not quite yet, but still, it's a midfield slice as Zenix slows the counterattack down. Still going to be CCPS getting to it first as they look to play through that corner. Zenix will jump up to try to take it away from Yuri as Ultros gets a nice 50 in their favor. Zenix one-on-one against Sweeper does lose out. Meatball up for grabs. G-Royd gets there first. Ultros now has to play off the backboard, but Sweeper's already there, and that is so much boost loss. Open door. G-Royd knocks it in. 2-1 lead for CCPS.
Hawkers seem to be getting a taste of their own medicine here. Just a few unforced errors, a few missed touches leading to goals, which is what they were able to, the main reason they were able to take games off SMC. Now they're the ones that need to take that breath, try and relax themselves with this pressure. Take your time, make sure you get those clean hits. Otherwise, this might be a fairly easy series for CCP as Ultra is getting a good demo, but a double commit in the midfield will bring pressure straight back onto Hawker College. Ultra is trying to keep it close. And no one's quite there, so Fruity will be sending the other way, passing it. But Ultra shot on target here, but Sweeper just going to be able to brush that one aside.
Yeah, coming, living true to their name, sweeping up that ball, brushing it off to the side, and sort of stowing it away on the opponent's side of the pitch as the ball falls again in the box. 1 minute remaining for Hawker to find this equalizer, but they're on that back foot because Sweeper finds another through the corner. 2-goal lead in favor of the blue side.
Yeah, they're looking really strong on this attack, and it just seems like the awkward rotations from Hawker. They're putting themselves in awkward positions here. Fruity rotating kind of front post rather than staying wide, and they are able to get that one away. A 2-goal lead here, and Hawker need to start playing aggressive. They need to start really sending it the ball to try and make this last minute kind of push for this game 1 win here. As Ultras does start up with good clear. Fruity awkward here, so Sweeper will get an opportunity, shot opportunity. It's not going to find its way in back of the net, but Yuri almost with a good follow-up.
Yeah, Yuri almost was able to get that one through. Still, though, the ball in that upper corner will be cleared up by Ultras as Sweeper, again, with a nice tight cutoff. I mean, even with the 2-goal lead, you can see that relentless nature coming from the CCPS side as Sweeper gets a boomer of a clear back the other way. G-Rod nearly gets the dunk on Ultras as well. No mercy being shown right now as we hit our final 20 seconds. It's looking more and more likely that CCPS will be striking first.
Yeah, and Sweeper just trying to waste time in the midfield. They know they don't have to get any more goals on the board. They just have to really bait out, as G-Road beating 2 defenders is a perfect way to do that. Time is running out here. It looks like CCP will take game number 1, and G-Road with a really nice angle to finish that one off.
Yeah, that was cheeky little angle right there. That looked to be about 88 degrees. Center, no ground, no rim. Wasn't over 100K though, so at best you could get a B+ for a shot like that. 4-1 lead. Very, very nice way to end this opening game. And yes, absolutely, CCPS, they kind of are the favorites coming into this one, and they make a definitive game 1 statement.
Yeah, really making a huge statement with a commanding lead there, not giving Hawker really any opportunities on their own half. But I really think that game's kind of a good sign for Hawker, because I think a lot of the problems for them was based off maybe a little bit of pressure, maybe a little bit of panic. So if they can just kind of take a breath, relax themselves, and then really look to kind of play their play style and play how they know best. But yeah, I really feel like Hawker can make a comeback from that first game.
That said, though, they need to find ways to get more consistent offensive pressure. I felt too many of their attacks were fizzling way too quickly when they were on that opponent's side of the pitch, and that was sort of exemplified with the only 3 shots on goal taken from the Hawker side. So while I did actually like their defense despite giving up 4 goals, a lot of those goals came from counterattacks when they were a bit too aggressive. I wasn't too much of a fan at how they weren't able to keep the attack sustained as we kick off our next game, game number 2 underway, and Sweeper off the kickoff nearly had a chance but decides not to follow it through.
Yeah, and Ultras will get a big clear downfield. We're going to follow it up. Actually, a really nice center, but Sweeper there to clean that one up and send it down the other way. Yuri, really good yet again at placing themselves upfield, giving an option for the team trying to clear out the ball, and couldn't quite get a shot opportunity on that target, but almost had a good one there between G-Road and Yuri. And I just can't say enough how much I'm impressed by this duo. They just always seem to be passing to each other. They're in the right positions. Ultras almost in the right position there as they just couldn't get that one through.
Fruity as well missed on a chance that was admittedly very tough to pull off, but an open net, no touch on the ball. Ultras' shot, just that monochrome, just a minuscule amount too high. And whichever M word you want to use in that situation. Yuri now will clear it out of the box, but Fruity will collect mid-pitch. Knew that pressure was coming and is able to keep it high and away from that CCPS side, as now we are seeing that more sustained attack that I wanted to see come from Hawker, but they left the middle of the pitch open, and it tries to be capitalized upon. A good little reaction, though, coming from the orange team, but the bump from Yuri means the attack will fizzle.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job at maintaining that midfield pressure. It's just knowing when they've lost the pressure. They need to find that out quicker so they can learn to rotate deeper. They know when to back off and say, hey, we've lost this attempt. Let's go back, get the resources, and we can start. That's where they're starting to get counterattack. They're not really picking up the signals or the signs that when they're losing that upfield possession, it's turning into the counterattacks. They did do well that attempt, and now Ultra is looking to continue that aggression, get back on the offensive end as G-Roy, good clear, looking to follow it up, keeping the ball nice and close. Beats out one, beats out two, but Xenix is there for the follow-up, might find themselves on target, but Sweeper just there to play it aside.
That was very, very close, and that could have been a massive Hawker lead. Then again, they are on that attacking side of the pitch, but Yuri, with a couple cheeky touches, nearly gets across midfield. Instead, it winds up back the other way. Now Ultras is going to play that passing game. The double touch through the corner. Doesn't quite get the ball into the box. Well read by G-Roy.
Yeah, now G-Roy actually looking for the follow-up. Might even get the corner read, but it will bounce out into midfield. Sweeper opting not to go for that one and instead backing off, trying to maintain that defense, try and push one up. Ultra is almost getting a nice shot on target there, but actually missing that angle, which we've seen Ultra score a few times in these playoffs.
Yeah, we have seen a few of those shots go through, and it's why you've always got to be mindful of players like Ultras, as they will strike from anywhere on that pitch. And that's actually something that I'm noticing being done very, very well by CCPS. They always have a player in the middle of the field, just in case for some of those more errant shots. Now, it's not always in front of the goal. Goalkeeping, I feel, is bad, but always trying to keep a player ready to make a read across the center of the field. And that is something that has been paying major dividends, particularly in the second game.
Yeah, well, exactly right. We've seen on countless of times when sweepers look for those infield passes and no one's there, it's turned into a quick counterattack where the other team's managed to score off it. So it is really nice to then have that communication. They've worked out where to kind of fit into the rotation, which is one thing they're doing really well. But that being said, that is a double commit. Sweeper will be back here as Fruity can get a touch. Even though Demo goes for the demo, puts him in an awkward position, and Ultras finishes it off.
That's a massive late game lead once again for the Hawkers side. Fruity, so cheeky with that touch right there, keeping it on the backboard. Sweeper clearly expecting a shot actually in that situation. Didn't think to make that sort of read. It pays dividends for Hawker, who now go up 1-0.
Yeah, huge play from Fruity, and exactly what they need to really start to make this late game push here. Is a good clear by Ultras. Fruity will take possession here, but no boost to work with, so we'll actually end up getting a really nice save. Sweeper caught cheating out of net a little bit too far. Xenix gets one. Ultra is there to follow, looking for the double touch. It is open. Can they put it away? Ultras can. And that is the kind of shooting accuracy that we thought we would see from the beginning. Ultra is really showing up.
Yeah, that was just a great recovery in the air and able to find that last tap to put it through. 2-0 lead in game number 2. More likely than not, we're going to be tying things up right now as we kind of count away this one. And you predicted this series to go in 4 games. I would have predicted it to go in 3. So once again, Tins, you are proving to be the expert of this high school league.
At the end of the day, you got the last prediction. You guessed Hawker at the beginning. You did change your vote. I'll excuse you for that one. So I will excuse you and say that you were right in guessing Hawker. But that being said, I really think Hawker has some great attributes about them. If they can hold this kind of play style out for an entire game, but they might not here. Game isn't over yet, says Sweeper, as they look to almost tie up this game, 1 goal down.
The 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead in all of football. I say it pretty much every time I see it happen, and we start to see this comeback come through, because under a minute remaining, you give up that goal, and that sense of doubt sometimes can start to creep in, especially when you have a player as explosive as Sweeper now, seemingly on the hunt. And to CCP's credit, Sweeper has been playing more of a passive role for the past couple games we've seen them on stream. That could be changing about now, as that's a nice redirect from Xenix to make sure that this game gets put well and truly out of reach.
And that's a few times we've seen good upfield rate. There's no need to jump. There's no need to try and get an aerial. Just get the touch on the ground perfectly into the back of the net. And I do want to talk to you, because I've been thinking this for a while. And this CCP side, for those who follow along with the University League, reminds me a lot of SUT Swinburne. Sweeper and Zuko playing that kind of back play style rather than being the main aggressors and letting their two teammates really force the offense. And I'm kind of seeing the same kind of play style here with CCP.
Playstyle, maybe, perhaps. I don't like the comparison from Sweeper to Zuko. Just because Zuko, and the way how Zuko tends to approach the ball, is Ultras is going to keep running up the scoreline. Sweeper, I think, has been a bit more explosive in the midfield, and Sweeper is more consistently going to look for strikes in that upper third. Zuko, I feel his strength still is when playing off of his own backboard and going for slow, controlled plays up the entirety of the pitch, and then turning that into offensive pressure with a late offensive touch that can get a defender off balance. And I don't see Sweeper do that much, so while they might have similar roles, how they approach the ball sometimes I do find to be quite different.
Yeah, exactly right. I definitely agree with you there, and that's such a great thing about like players in Rocket League. I don't know what happens or like what is the mindset with these players who are really trying to go up the ranks. They all have their unique play style. They all might play the same way. You know, you have your designated the first, second, and third players, but they all play the roles differently from what they've kind of adapted. And you can see that adaptation happening with all these kind of players. They do have a similar play style, I think, as a team, but you're right. There are the differences, and those differences can really make a team better or worse. And really good turnaround there from Hawker. I just want to say, I think they continue to play like that. They do less unforced errors on themselves, take that breath. They are definitely in this match with a game like that under their belt.
You know who Sweeper's reminding me of, actually?
Who?
Cabo.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 1-0 lead in favor of CCPS off of the kickoff right there.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think that is a great, the definitely play styles definitely match up. But, you know, G-Royd says, stop talking. Like, it's about me, okay? They're doing amazing. Yuri, G-Royd, I say it time and time again, they are on the attacking end. They are really pushing the pace of the game. And they're really the go-to players when it goes to the final touches or the infield passes. So they're doing a really good job at that. They've got the 1-goal lead. They've got that momentum back in their favor, and they might have another one as Ultra is failing to get back to this one. Sweeper gonna go all the way.
That was okay, this was a Zuko-like play. We were talking Zuko before. This one was a much more Zuko-like play as, yeah, just finds that near perfect clear from the backside, able to chase it all the way forward, creates enough offensive pressure this time to find the goal. 2-0 up. CCPS after dropping that first game. They're not in position to mess around anymore, although I'm noticing a still car in the box. Yuri, again, might be suffering from some technical issues.
It's always a bad sign when I look over and I see a still car. I internally hurt because it's not what you want to see, especially in this game. You want all players competing at their best. Ultras will get a goal for that. And it's all on Yuri. Can Yuri sort out? Can Yuri hold off these difficulties for long enough to see out this series?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of amazing to see how quickly Hawker can strike just with that one-person differential. If you want to know the impact that, you know, just losing one player can have, I think this series has been a prime example of that because CCPS with 3 players looks so much different than CCPS with only 2. Now Yuri, though, is back, finds the pass, and immediately Sweeper almost turns it into a goal.
Yeah, now Ultra's looking to go the other way, but no boost. We'll look for the infield pass. Almost ends up with a weird pass play that works out really well. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get that one on target. And now Yuri back on it, trying to send it the other way. Good infield pass. No one quite there, but forcing out a few errors in the midfield. Luckily, Ultras is there, really solidifying themselves on defense, but just couldn't quite get there in the net. And Sweeper will get rewarded with a goal.
I think that was a case of expecting that shot not to have the angle to go into the goal. I think that's what caused Hawker to miss that one a little bit. That angle was tight. That angle was filth. And Sweeper right now really feels like they are becoming more and more unleashed in this series. It is no more times to mess around as another shot's on target, this time cleared out by Sweeper as well.
I don't know what's going on. This game's just too fast. This game's too intense. Even the camera's having trouble picking up. The director cam's having a bit of troubles. But this is such a fast-paced game, and it is really good to see, as I said, how much the high school league has grown. But can Fruity try and mount a form of comeback here, or will Sweeper just go long time and time again, placing it top bins? Sweeper is just finding the holes in the defense.
And I believe that's the hat trick for Sweeper in game number 3. A very, very strong omen for sure. 107 kilometers per hour up the entirety of the field. 4-1 lead. Game completely in control of the blue side. Completely flipping around what's happened in game number 2 as well. Very promising sign from our, well, number 1 seed, dare I say.
Yeah, and I really think right now Hawker College is praying to the Rocket League gods that Yuri continues to have technical difficulties so they can try and mount a comeback here. But right now they're just looking really overpowered. Fruity almost ends up own goaling. That one will go to G-Roy, puts it on target. Zenix does get the save, but Sweeper is going to keep that pressure, really trying to force players out, and that's what they're doing. They're forcing these players out of defense, and when they finally go triple commit in the midfield almost, they're looking for those long touches downfield. Sweeper now gone, puts that one over. Old Trey's didn't read that final touch. 5-1 goal line to CCP.
That was just commitment from the first touch. Sweeper absolutely starting to blow this game away. Ultras maybe feeling a little bit dissuaded right now. Look, again, as I mentioned, I spoke to this team a little bit at the start of the season, and there was a team they were afraid of. Yeah, it was this one, CCPS and Sweeper. I think this team was on everyone's radar from the word go. And right now in Game 3 of this grand final, we are seeing why Sweeper is on an absolute tear. And it really feels like Hawker just has not had the answer.
Yeah, it's amazing to think just how well Giroid and Yuri can play together. And then all of a sudden, Sweeper can flick a switch and just absolutely almost carry a team with these goals. Going long just gets the power behind each touch, and it is the difference we talk about. That next tier level player, the touches are so much more powerful. We saw that practically the sidewall pinch into the own into Hawker's College net, and just from anywhere on the field, Sweeper can put a shot in that powerful. It's almost disorienting for Hawker.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and feel free to sort of take this wherever you want, but how likely would you say is RLCS in a player like Sweeper's future? Because when you're a Supersonic legend, that gets some eyes on you, of course. When you're actually playing in tournaments and events and getting on stream, that keeps eyes on you as well. How long before this player, finds themselves a non-high school competitive sort of 3v3 team, and could we be seeing them making a run perhaps in the more professional scene?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Sweeper has already made a top 12 appearance in the recent RLCS Season X, so they have already solidified themselves in there. A little bit of outside, I know Sweeper has been absolutely pushing this game to its limit, has made really nice plays in six-mans getting to rank X. For those who know six-mans, Sweeper has been doing a lot of work in this off-season, and I think we might even see make a top 12 run again, or even push into that top 8.
I mean, when you make it into rank X in six-mans, I just want to put this into comparison. That's the rank where you see players like Torsos. That's the rank where you see, your Amphises, your big boys come through. That's where Ground Zero is hanging out, essentially. 6-1 lead. Yuri's going to put another one through as this lead from CCPS continues to climb.
Yeah, that is a great infield pass. Yuri just in the right position. Ultras couldn't get to it, and they will take the 5-goal lead here. But I do want a little bit of a correction, because I think we got to give credit to me, especially got to give credit to my GZ guys. They're hanging out in rank S. They're hanging out in rank S. Sweepers
they
in rank
haven't
X
made it.
Currently.
Wait, is S above X then?
S is above X.
Oh, okay,
So
I thought it was X above
S.
S. That's my bad.
Yeah, S, X, A, B, C, D.
Wait,
so
who puts S above X?
I know. Maybe look, we know a few connections for. Well, maybe we might.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a chat with someone about how ranking should work. That said, Sweeper going for a reset for a Brazil scoreline, can't quite pull it off. That could have been amazing. Ball still gonna hit the ground, and we're looking at a 6-1 victory in favor of the CCPS side. They now advance to tournament point.
Yeah, and it's going to be very disheartening for Hawker. They got that game 2 win, and then to game 2 win, I believe, and then to come out and to literally get 6-1. It's such high, especially when that one goal you scored was because Yuri was having some technical difficulties. So what can you do mentality-wise to really come back, try and make this late game, I call it a best of 3 reverse sweep, because you need to win the next 2 matches or you'll find yourself just coming short of that grand final victory here.
Well, I mean, it's essentially win 1 and you get yourself at least to that game 5. Win 1 in your CCPS and you take the Season 3 tournament and maybe get them promoted to rank S. You know where I'm banking my ranks off of? Oh no, Yuri loses connection. Oh, okay, good. That gives us time to talk about ranks. Oh, no, but you know what I was basing it off? I was basing it off Salty Bet. And if you don't know what that is, I will explain after the stream. Not because it's not, it's fine. It's nothing inappropriate, but it's just not Rocket League related. As it looks like we will be having a bit of a break, of course, before going into our final match just due to the technical difficulties. So please stay with us. We'll be right back with the conclusion of Season 3. Welcome back, everybody. Just saying a quick hello to you all before we're throwing it actually straight onto the pitch. Again, apologies for that technical delay, but Yuri is back, and you want to be at full strength through this one. CCPS, one game away from a Season 3 title. They don't necessarily get all of that first kickoff, however, because Hawker, they want to take it to that Game 5 Ultra setup, but Zen cannot get it through.
Yeah, but they're still looking to keep the pressure going here as Fruity looking to get the challenge. Ultra has followed up nice and quickly. Sweeper just having to get the ball out. They would have to be low on resources here, and this is the time where Hawker needs to go. They need to really apply that pressure, suffocate the team back onto defense, but Sweeper able to get it clear. Yuri with the follow-up, and now Ultra is looking to just play this patiently, but not going to be able to, as really both teams coming out the gate shooting. I would imagine that we just played the previous game 10 seconds ago, and both these teams really coming out firing.
That they are, as Ultras takes the shot. Very well saved by Sweeper. Now G-Roy from underneath has the touch against Fruity. Will be looking to play off of that wall. A chance to get behind it, but doesn't find the strike just yet, as Sweeper puts another shot on as the ball gets cleared out. Still 4 minutes left on the clock. Ultras shot target going to be saved by Yuri, I believe, on that back foot, who followed it through. Yuri in that third man role has been so effective for so much. Although I'm worried they may have gone AFK again. It might be another technical hiccup. Nope, they've moved. Okay, we're good.
It's always, every time you see Yuri stop moving for a second, it's always a sign, but luckily it didn't get disconnected that time. And now, but Sweeper looking to try and bait out Ultras, and does get the save as well. Really looking to put that pressure on. Shot after shot. Sweeper, save after save, and now going long to put that one away. First goal here in a match point game for CCP.
Oh my goodness, what a long shot from Sweeper. And my favorite part was how dedicated Sweeper was for putting that through themselves, just yeeting the teammate out of the way, saying, nah, I got this, fam. Putting it through from their own corner. 1-0 advantage for CCPS. And maybe they can hold on, but we haven't seen Hawker get shut out yet.
Yeah, they're really looking to keep it going, but Giro and Yuri doing what they do best, keeping that pressure together. This time, good clear by Ultreas, gets another touch, but he's going to give away position to Sweeper, who's now got 100 boost to work with. A little bit of a slow pace. It might not be able to take it over the way. A double commit, though, so Yuri will have time to go quick, but Ultreas with a miss in midfield might be detrimental to them. Yuri can't get the touch, and I think both teams really dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, they're each dodging some massive ones. Still, Sweeper's going to look to clear it across the middle of the field. Swing and a miss from Xenix as underneath the shot comes through. Sweeper gets credit for the second. It was a bit of a pinch, though, to get it in 104 kilometers per hour, as this is CCPS now with a huge advantage in our fourth and potential final game.
If there's any time to feel the pressure, it is now, and I think Hawker are really feeling it. They're 2-0 down. They're really starting to just get those few misses in midfield and in their own goal square that's leading to these goals. And Sweeper is not letting up, applying that pressure, going long with power. Fruity now with a good challenge in the corner, looking to follow this up. Tried to beat up one defender, but no one really challenging. No boost to work with. Will throw away possession. G-Roy now looking to go on the defensive end. Offensive end, sorry. Good pass in field. Couldn't quite convert on that one. And that is a rare miss from the connection between Yuri and G-Roy.
Yeah, as we do see another shot being taken on target by Sweeper, going for another one of these aerial plays, but the defense playing off the backboard throws it back the other way. Good touch from Ultros, might be setting up Fruity, who also will look to play off the backboard. Awkward read, but the bump does not connect on Yuri. Still, though, play through the corner gets intercepted by Sweeper, who has so much momentum, taking it back to the middle of the field. It feels like with every game, CCPS is just getting faster and faster.
Yeah, and almost unstoppable as time goes on. Yuri now finding the midfield gap, following that one, putting it away. 3-goal lead here, and I don't think Hawker have ever come back from this. So they need to get a move on. They need to start playing more aggressive. They need to find the formula to bring this one back, or they will find themselves out of this playoff tournament.
Yeah, but they only have less than 2 minutes remaining. This is getting very dire right now, as we do see 100 seconds. Maybe Ultros can make something happen here, but no contact to be made, and Sweeper, well, was playing in that back corner. That position so comfy for the Watermelon Octane as they continue just to take up the entire length of the pitch. And remember earlier in this series when we saw this Hawker side playing aggressive? Well, they've been playing from their own side, and this time Fruity takes it all the way, so perhaps the change of strategy is beneficial. They do get one on the board.
Yeah, just keeping it close. G-Royd really forcing themselves in an awkward position on net, and Sweeper not able to get there. Fruity said, you know what? I'm just going to go through them all. I'm going to get the 1v3. Manages to pull it off, gives this team a sign of life here. But Sweeper now trying to get a quick counterattack here. Ruin all chance they have with a nice angle. Gets the double, but just off target, and it will be played aside.
As we do see that deeper clear shot saved by Sweeper, but Ultros still staying on it. Ball gets over the top, but no one playing the opposite corner. Xenix eventually does get there in time to waterfall it down in front of the net. G-Royd has the read. Xenix needs to make a forward touch, instead puts it back for Ultros. Shot, target, Sweeper gets there again. Sweeper just crushing dreams, it feels like, in this game. For so close so many times. Hawker just can't put it through, and now Sweeper puts this one away. That's going to be the dagger in this one, I do believe. 4-1 lead for CCPS.
3 goals, 4 shots on target. And I do talk about when you get 3 of a stat in Rocket League, it's called a specific thing. If you get 3 goals, it's called a striker medal. If you get 3 saves, it's called a savior medal. He has a striker medal and almost 2 savior medals. He has 5 saves under his belt. He is not letting anything through the defense, and it is a huge reason for the success so far. CCP playing the best we've seen them all tournament. They are loving this pressure. They are embracing it, and they are really looking to keep this momentum going. 30 seconds to go, still up by 3. Sweeper trying to get another one on the board. G-Royd tried, but couldn't quite, and Yuri looking to challenge.
We knew Sweeper, though, was tournament winning capable. The question mark was always going to be, where is Yuri and where is G-Royd in comparison? And you know what? Today, both of them stepped up and then some, as G-Royd puts another one in off of a last-second backboard rebound, just to emphasize that point. Be it the attacking and aggressive nature of G-Royd, either setting up or finding strikes just outside of the box. Be it that third-man play out of Yuri, who was consistently finding strong defensive touches to dish it out to whichever player is open at the time. every member of the CCPS team rose up today when it mattered most, and they get themselves a well-earned AEL Season 3 victory.
All 3 winners were in top 3. It was a battle from the get-go since round 1 of this tournament, and Sweeper reaching the 1,000-point mark to help this team get over the line. And if you don't know, 1,000 points is extremely hard to get in Rocket League. Sweeper making it look easy. That is the best we've seen them play all tournament. And, you know, Nitro asked before the game, you know, no pressure. You're only playing for a $5,600 interactive display. And Sweeper responded saying, what's pressure? What's pressure? I don't know what it's like. And they're demonstrating that right there. They have played their heart out. Really well played to hawk up. It's CCP with a mad deserving win.
Yeah, I absolutely a deserving tournament victory for the squad. Never lost a match, although they did drop a game. At the end of it all, they actually dropped 2 at the end of it all.
3-1. Game 4.
3-1. Did go game 4. Called that. Absolutely well done. But credit to Hawker as well for taking the fight to this team. I mean, Ultras in particular, I felt like played very well in a lot of this series, but it just wasn't enough. The team was continually outpaced. They made too many defensive mistakes, and they never got to play their style consistently that they were looking for. So back to the drawing board for Hawker, I suppose. I do hope to see both of these teams continue into Season 4. I feel like Season 3 definitely was the biggest and best season we've had yet of AEL High School, and I'd love to see this event only grow from here.
Yeah, and from, you know, casters that have been there from the beginning, it is amazing to see. We had 4 teams in Season 1. I think we grew to about 12, and now we have countless. It's growing with each season. So make sure if you are a high school student that's looking to register, you can get a team together. Make sure to join AEL. Join up yourself, and it's an absolute blast. A lot of these teams just compete for the fun as well, but absolutely amazing to see how much this competition has grown. It's getting bigger and better, more teams, and it's amazing to see the progression, not only for the players, but for the whole tournament from the beginning.
And again, an event like this would not be possible without the great sponsors of AEL. Of course, talking about ViewSonic, Chatime, AOC, Indomie, and Rig. A big heartfelt thank you to all of them. If you haven't checked out any of these brands, please do so. A thank you to not just our final schools, not just the schools who participated today, but all of the schools who participated throughout the entirety of this tournament for signing up, giving it a go. We know it was a wide variety of experiences. Everyone starts somewhere. We hope to provide a fun and competitive environment for all skill levels, anyone who wants to get out there and play. So a big thank you to all of those schools who took part. And lastly, a big thank you as well to everyone who tuned in and watched, be it those, you know, working behind the scenes like Nitro, or those who are tuning in to enjoy, all of you watching in chat as well, without which, you know, we'd just be yelling at no one. So it definitely helps makes Tins and myself's job a lot more easier knowing you're out there.
It definitely is, and we can say so many good things about everyone. Like all the people behind the scenes, they make our job a lot easier, whispering in our ear, letting us know score updates and things like that, and also making sure the entire day runs well. That being said, CCP, speaking of sponsors, ViewSonic sponsoring the 75-inch interactive display. That has gone to CCP. That is what they were competing for, and that is what they have won. So huge upgrade to that school, and huge thank you to ViewSonic for sponsoring that prize.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what better fair way to win a tournament than give them the tools to make them even stronger for next semester? Just make that raid boss even better, obviously. That seems fine to me, but you know what? They deserved it and then some. One last time, though, if you haven't already, please like, follow, subscribe wherever you are watching this event on, because 8:30 tonight, I want to see you all back here. It's going to be the InterVarsity teams going at it. We have 3 fun matches for you. UCID versus Monash, UON versus AUE, and then UON again taking on UCID again. I mean, they're different versions. Well, actually, it's the same UON team, but it's the other UCID team. We're going to be seeing both of them playing tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Fetch will be joining me then. Tins, that way. Tins joined me tonight. Absolutely been a pleasure. Until then, I'm going to go take a nap, and have a great day, everybody.